support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. Nebraska needs you. There is hope, and the Lifeline works.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZ and Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
A crossover is
crossover dribble.
Sing for the crossover.
Kyrie Irving crossover in the lane. One of the most famous crossovers of all time. Behind the back, an ankle breaker on Chris Paul. Crossover continues to evolve.
A little nutty, a little squirrely. This is what happens when you're here before hours, Jimmy.
Jimmy's had a lot of coffee today.
A lot of coffee.
Which Jimmy?
Yes.
Oh, Jimmy's had a lot of coffee.
Yeah.
Jimmy likes coffee.
The crossover is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. Just rolls off the tongue. So I haven't had a chance to refresh my www.twitter.com, or as it used to be known as back in the day. Have you gotten 12 segments from listeners yet that you're soliciting?
Yeah, we got.
It's a great idea.
We got plenty.
Today is your show Friday.
That's right.
You, the listener.
That's right. And I don't want to, we're like, it's the last show of the year. Show 237, Josh. Is that right?
That is correct.
Show 237 of the year, which shows you how much we work of the year.
Makes me really appreciate the NFL and Creighton basketball for all those nights off after 6 o'clock.
Yeah, it's nice. But it's the last day of the year. It's for you. We're also maybe phoning it in a little bit. Mailing it in.
Your show. You come up with a topic. Shafe has already helped with one, and that's good. That's an evergreen. That's one that's always kept in the bay, and so you can go to it. But the rest of it is the listeners out in Zone Land.
We got a lot of stuff in there that we can sift through. That's for sure.
Dylan fatigue worn yet? Has there any of that?
Were they suggesting
that?
Yeah. Hey, can you talk about Dylan Raiola?
I don't think we're there yet. I think we're getting dangerously close.
Why? Are you sick of him?
No, not at all. But I think we're heading in that direction.
Well, good thing we're not live next week, and then we can refresh it on January 2, and we could start it all over again.
Will there be Dylan fatigue by the spring game?
I can't imagine why there would be.
Maybe for like a week or two in February, just ramping up, and then one spring ball, we reset the clock.
Yeah, because then we could actually see him throw.
Yeah,
that's a good point.
And then the first day he throws an incomplete pass. Or
an interception.
Big red overreaction, spring edition.
Yeah, he's probably not going to throw.
Joey and Peter.
He's probably not going to throw any interceptions though in his whole life.
Ever. It's like Bino Cook and Ron Paulus.
Exactly. You could win 100 Heisman trophies.
All the Heisman.
All of them.
Maybe we get endless eligibility now.
They're going to give him Reggie Bush's taking away Heisman.
Yep. He'll get a 6th year of eligibility for COVID, even though he wasn't a part of it. Just won a 6th Heisman trophy.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah,
it seems like it's probably in the cards.
Probably going to happen.
I have no Dylon fatigue, nor would I dream of it.
I have to ask, where does the Dylon thing come from? I'm assuming that was a shtick from something.
Dylon, who spits hot fire.
Oh,
he's one of the 5 greatest rappers of all time.
I got there.
Him, okay. Dylon.
It's a thing.
Josh fielded a phone call the other day, and
somebody was mad about it.
Well,
not mad,
just asking questions. Just ask questions. Hey, what's going on here? Why are you calling him Dylon? And I can't hear what's going on the other, on the side of the phone. And so I just hear Josh say, Yeah, it's from the Chappelle show. It's bit, and I'm like,
he's a comedian.
Yeah, he gets
Google David Chappelle. He'll be happy you did.
No, they don't show crank anchors anymore. Do they still show crank anchors?
Yeah, maybe crank anchors should come back.
Yeah, bring back crank anchors.
Bring back crank anchors.
It shows you how much I watched.
Question. Yeah. Bring back crank anchors.
Yes or no for you to watch with.
I
your
don't think
family.
I ever watched an episode of that show.
We are right up on the line of the yeses or nos for 2023. Yes is currently outdoing no by just a hair, I think. Josh, right?
Four question
Look
lead.
At the P1ers. 16th one of his own listeners are positive people.
And straight down the middle, You get some yes, you get some no.
1620, the 500 station.
Exactly.
Crank
hey, gotta
Anchors
get 6.
Was rebooted in 2019 and
didn't need to do that.
A year too early.
I agree. Went off the air in 2022.
Needed to do that. That was a necessity.
So Crank Anchors did come back.
Wow. Bring it back again.
Was there a writer's strike that year as well? Or?
Perhaps for COVID 2, the sequel. come
No-
back
no
again
thanks.
with a third one. But the sequel's never as good as the original.
Thanks.
So what happened on Crank Yankers? It was a bunch of puppets
Made
calling
prank
people.
calls. And it wasn't funny.
No,
It wasn't.
Not
The
once.
celebrities did crank phone calls and recorded the audio, and for the visuals, it was puppets.
Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
And, like,
Yeah.
You know,
they
you'd-
also
you'd go
found
get
people that
the-
weren't funny to do the voiceovers too.
Or you'd have to
That
get the
didn't go well.
3D glasses for things. Well, here you would have to go get like a bag of weed or something to go with the show, and you were supposed to have one
for
with
Deion
the other,
Sanders.
and yeah, exactly. You could play for Dion and do it and have it on your recruit video,
Just in case.
just in case.
Yeah, you got to
Is that
show
where
that.
we're going?
just in
with it?
case.
Somebody's going to recruit or commit somewhere, and it's going to be a voiceover by a puppet.
You could
That
do
would
that.
be cool.
You could do
That
that.
would win it.
Statler and Waldorf on recruiting.
Are puppets ever cool? That's a poll question. Are puppets ever cool? The answer is no.
We love Oscar the Grouch.
Yeah, Oscar the Grouch is my spirit animal.
He was pretty cool.
Was he cool though? I mean, can you be cool and
Yeah,
be on,
he's pretty cool.
can you be cool and be on PBS?
Oscar the Grouch was cool.
Bob
Yeah.
Ross.
Bob Ross was cool.
That's a good-
Rest in
okay.
peace.
No, he didn't do puppets though.
No.
He just
But he was
drew.
on
He could
CBS.
draw one.
He was on PBS.
Lynn Swan was on an episode of Mr. Rogers. I don't know why I randomly remember that, but he was.
Nice.
Yeah, and he was still Lynn Swan at that time.
What's the coolest
still
puppet?
funny.
What's the coolest
Oh,
puppet?
Well, it wasn't Lynn
Ooh.
Swan. It was really him.
What is the coolest puppet?
Coolest puppet.
Is it Snuffleupagus just because of the size?
I love that. I love that
It's
puppet.
a little
for
red.
I
sure.
think it'd have to.
Does
Be.
Little Red count as a
How about the chef,
No.
the Swedish chef?
Oh, that's
Winner.
top five.
Winner.
board,
Top five.
board,
Top five,
board.
for sure.
Top 5 puppets.
Yeah.
I love
Yeah.
the
Josh,
Swedish
Top
chef.
You're
5
welcome.
puppets coming in 2024.
Do it
Kermit,
today. You
Kermit
coward.
Kermit was fine. He was a little like emotional, you know.
Yeah, he-
I would be too if
He's
I
a
was
little
married
bit
to
tough.
Miss Piggy. She was always angry.
Yeah, was he
Yeah.
emotional or was he correctly distraught?
Maybe
There's debates.
Correctly distraught.
correctly
Defeated.
distraught.
Defeated frog.
Yeah.
No wonder
He tried to
just-
stay positive,
Mhm.
but
It ain't, but it ain't easy being green. You beat me to it. You beat me to it.
ladies sleeping green.
Have you ever heard his version of oh crap, not rape me.
F the police.
Yeah, it's on there. YouTube it.
Creep, Radiohead. Yeah.
There you go.
He
Yes,
sings
I-
that. And it makes sense. I don't know why I had rape me stuck in my head.
Are your the numerous of suggestions you've gotten today for your show? Is do any of them involve fixing Creighton basketball?
There was a Creighton basketball related one or two in there. I
You
don't know
looked
if it was
dapper
about
the other
fixing
night.
them. Thank you. Thank you.
You stuck to the bit.
I really did.
I have to ask because I was getting on the elevator as you were walking in, by the way, and it didn't look like you were wearing a suit because I think you had a hoodie on or something.
I had my nice
change, or
jacket on.
Did you?
No, I wore that.
Okay,
I wore
gotcha.
that. I had my.
I only saw you briefly as the door was shut.
I had my. I don't think it's like a pea coat, but like I had my
Sure.
my dapper jacket.
Yeah, you didn't
on.
go from like Belichick to Tom Landry.
Right, exactly. No, you wouldn't do that. There is some Creighton questions in here, more along the lines of why can't they win more so Nebraska's net ranking could be better. That's usually the type of stuff that we get as it relates to Creighton basketball. There's one about Omaha basketball. It just says Omaha basketball.
I cannot believe they lost that game last night.
Breaking news: they lost last night.
Gosh,
Darn
yeah.
it.
Did you guys stay up late? Listen to Gary?
I did not
I didn't
because I
either.
had to get up early.
I didn't even know they lost until just now.
Hey,
Uniforms and
You're
everything.
welcome. I'm here for all the info.
That's Jimmy Allen, Omaha basketball expert.
Do you have a favorite of all the topics you've been given so
A
far?
favorite? Oh man.
So for those of you that don't know, Connor put out a question, asked what you would talk about if you hosted a sports talk radio show today in Omaha, Nebraska.
Because we're all phoning it in. And I don't know if I can speak for USC, but I would imagine they would as well.
We spent 15.
Oh,
we
actually,
spent 15 minutes talking about the McRib. We
actually,
definitely
I did.
With Shafe.
I got one from El Mexico.
Good morning, Omef.
yeah, this is
and
the one I brought up. by
He
the way.
said, "I would spend hours and hours deriding local sports fans who just don't get it."
No, he wants new material.
I thought that was good.
They want something to discuss that they don't normally do.
Thought that was good. Also, I would. This is from Ed. I would spoil 20-year-old movies and talk about things I've discovered. Once again,
Yeah.
looking for some new stuff.
You breaking down the World Series of darts, as somebody alluded to.
Somebody did that. Somebody said that. Yeah, I mean, I got takes.
1620, the dart station.
And I guess if you really wanted to do the if you want to do the radio bit, I'm sure this will be a thing on the national radio shows. Whoever else is phoning it in,
backups.
whoever else is phoning it in today. So tomorrow is Festivus, the Festivus for the rest of us.
Mhm.
Great game.
We got the airing of grievances. I got a lot of problems with you people. We could do that too. If you guys have anything you want to get off your chest before you leave,
if we're stuck
for the new year,
sounds like a good morale booster.
Anything from the gym? Anything from the Jimmies?
I've had a pretty good year. I don't really have much of a complaint.
You have had a good year.
Now, Jimmy,
I'd like to go back to Vegas one more time.
None of your co-hosts are here and or listening, so if you
that's true.
This is what we call taking liberties.
This is getting liberal with the takes on Sharp and Hanley. Let me tell you about my thoughts on Sharp and Hanley.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell
Nick's
us.
too tall.
Nick is tall.
Too tall.
Yeah. Too tall Hanley.
Too tall Hanley. That's what they call him.
Yeah. In fact, it's too tall Hanley. So
that's a good complaint.
Hot take.
It's a good complaint. On Nick.
Let's see. Nick is out on chicken and for breakfast, and Gary and I disagree with him completely, and have told Nick that he would not survive life south of the Mason-Dixon line.
I got chicken waffles for breakfast one time, and the syrup was spicy, and it ruined it for me forever.
Wow.
Are you more of a maple guy?
Yeah.
You need to have
I
that.
just don't think you should have spicy syrup.
You need to have that warmth.
Yeah.
It was warm, but it was also like sriracha spicy.
Not like temperature warmth, but like the warmth that syrup gives you.
Yeah, I need to feel happy, not hate. My face is still attached to me while I'm eating.
Okay.
Stuff.
It's gonna burn coming out the other end too.
It did.
Okay.
What about you?
Gripes?
My dad. Gripes, complaints?
Yeah, they're not here either, and you do crossovers with them. Let's see, 237 days, so about 206 of those days.
Out of the two, which do you like the least?
Oh, I don't have any gripes about our fantastic morning show. I have none. We're good on that. Just generally, can't get rid of this cough that I've been just hacking for like the last 2 weeks now. Pretty frustrating. Mad about that.
But endorsement possibilities for you for all kinds of businesses.
That's true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, how NyQuil Severe didn't get a deal with Michael Severe, I will never understand. I feel like that those commercials wrote themselves.
Really good.
Michael, I'm trying for you, man. I was trying to get you
Nice.
more of that Ted and Wally's money.
I'd like to get a third of the rings that Josh has
Ooey gooey NyQuil.
at some point. That'd be great.
Yeah.
Josh is just like, he's showing off all of his rings all the time when he comes in, and
He's our Bill Russell.
like, he's like, hey, why don't you just come on down and
Picture of all the
size
rings.
me?
Size
Why
me up.
don't you come down and size me up for a ring? And I just
Size
got to
me up.
stand there and like watch it all. I got to like videotape it.
Dude,
Like I'm
was
like,
it kind of
oh, this is
was it kind of
cool.
like standing next to Tom Brady? Is that how it felt?
Yeah, exactly. It's like, I guess I just watch greatness instead of be in it.
I mean, we could find a job for you, like sideline reporter
Ooh.
on the
Yeah.
broadcasts.
Yeah.
Um,
we can do it all?
Who's winning a championship though? Oh, for Iowa Western?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'll do that.
There you go. Yeah.
I'd love to get in
Championship
there.
boys.
Love to get in there. You know me, I love doing stuff.
Well, no, but I don't know, because if they don't win, then you become the
That's
fans start to blame you. Well, we didn't have this problem until Connor Happer got here.
But this is good for the other guys
like
because they can dump it all on
It's
him.
like taking over Alabama after Saban leaves. You just don't want that. You don't want that
That's
responsibility.
true.
Yeah, I'll tempt fate. I think Stroh's got some more natties in him.
Yeah, me too. By the
At
way.
least until Josh starts running out of fingers. And be like, you know what? It might be time to quit because I'm running out of places to put these.
Exactly.
Well, they're giving me 2 now this year.
Yep. He's getting 2 rings for 1 championship.
You're like Ric Flair. You're the only one with multiple
2-time Hall of Famer.
2-time Hall of Famer. Yeah.
So I'd like to have just, I'd like to just at least get 1 so I could be like, oh, I'm in the club. I have more than some of Josh's enemies, but not all of them.
Not all of them.
Maybe have like, hey, 5 minutes. Can I just look at the ring? Okay, 5 minutes, but it's going to charge you to watch.
Just so you guys listening know, when we walked in here, Connor had to kiss the ring before he said.
I did. I did, as I do most days.
This is your
do.
pre-show routine.
Yeah, every
'cause I don't
day,
get to see this.
9:50. Connor kisses one of my rings.
One of them.
One. It's a different one every day.
His
We'd like
lips
to
aren't
mix
good
it up.
enough for the other one.
No.
At least not yet. Not in 2023, but maybe in 2024.
The Royals doing anything exciting this time of year?
Oh, they're signing everybody.
Everybody.
I know. That was,
Yeah,
that was a softball.
They're the AL Dodgers.
Yeah.
many are saying. Many are saying.
They really are, Josh. Thank you. You're right. Now,
Dodgers Royals World Series. You heard it here first.
They didn't get any Japanese superstars,
The
unfortunately.
Kansas City Royals are currently changing their Twitter handle to the Kansas City Royals, parentheses, the AL Dodgers.
AL Dodgers.
The AL Dodgers, yeah.
I feel like that's a poll question.
Some
Is that what you just did? Was that a poll question?
Are the
Yeah.
Royals the Dodgers of the American League?
Yeah.
People
That's a
are
great
wondering that.
question.
No, they're not. The
Ryan?
answer's 100. This will be our
Royals are the
first
Dodgers.
100% yes question.
Yeah, I mean, there's some people who, not me. I've seen this idea just proffered out there. Like maybe they could make win the division next year.
Ooh.
People are wondering.
T-shirts and everything.
Do we know what is the most voted on poll? I'm sure you do, and it's probably been asked. Do we know what the most voted on poll of all time was?
Actually, I need to dig this up because I believe it is the most voted on question is, would Nebraska change Memorial Stadium to Coca-Cola if it meant Dylan Raiola came to school there?
Oh,
And the first one has been done, so your move, Trev.
yeah.
Wait, is that even a Trev thing? Does that go higher?
I think it'd be more of a.
It's probably a university deal.
It'd be more of a swoosh thing than a.
But he is a
Coca-Cola Pepsi thing.
vice chancellor. You know, so he's probably got some pull.
So
in that
What was the
category.
answer? Do we know the answer?
I'd say it's pretty heavy.
It's
yes.
pretty heavy
Yeah.
Coke.
Okay, I have found it. It is
And not
from
like in the Dallas Cowboys Coke, but like
Nice.
Monday, February 27th. We asked, would the University of Nebraska change to Coke products if Dylan Raiola requested it? 81% of the audience said yes.
That's
That's
even
it?
funnier because it would be him asking, "Hey guys, Trev, hey,
I want to come
listen,
here.
listen, I'll take snaps. You got to get the folks Coke. And stands.
I got this.
That's
sweet
it?
idea.
we got NIL. No, I don't want money. I don't care about money.
How heavily voted on was the Shador sandwich
Oh, yes.
question?
Ooh, that's a good NIL possibility. I mean,
Shador sandwich?
not that he needs anymore.
I think that was my favorite one of the year. I think we're gonna do something with the poll questions today during the show.
Tuesday, August 22nd, the most voted on poll question of the day, and also the most lopsided poll question of the day was, what would you rather have, a sandwich or a Shador Sanders Heisman ticket? 94% of the audience said a sandwich.
And they enjoyed that sandwich.
I'm team sandwich. Absolutely.
Even retrospectively, like people were asking me 3 or 4 weeks into the season, they're like, "Yeah, he's kind of like good, and they're good, and
You still want that sandwich?
Sour
yeah,
sandwiches.
you still want that sandwich?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm still going to take the sandwich.
Yeah.
I don't think he's going to win the Heisman." Now, the obvious, the good part about it is if you spend $10 on a Shador Sanders Heisman ticket, you're going to end up winning like $5,000 or something like that.
No, you won't because he's not going to win the. Heisman.
But like if he happened to,
Oh,
that would
yeah.
be your payout. So,
But if you
you're
take
either-
the sandwich, you
you're-
get a sandwich.
that's the
You're
point.
guaranteed.
And you know
You're
what you're
guaranteed
getting.
a sandwich. You're guaranteed a
I
sandwich.
don't know if there's much in life I would take over a guaranteed sandwich.
I love a sandwich.
Any sandwich.
Love a sandwich.
Yeah,
Was
even
the
if it's from
Patrick
Raising
Mahomes-
Cane's.
Was the Patrick Mahomes horse poll?
Yeah, that was this year.
Was that this year or last year?
That was this
That
year.
was this year.
That was this year. I couldn't remember.
If Patrick Mahomes was a horse, would he have played?
No, would he run?
That
the
was a
Kentucky
great
Derby?
question.
Yeah.
Would he have what?
Run the Kentucky Derby. Wasn't that the actual verbiage, right? With his leg injury.
Thursday, January 31st, we asked if Patrick Mahomes was a horse, would they have let him run the Kentucky Derby with that injury?
Nice.
80% of the audience said no.
And many horses would have just been taken out back and shot.
Exactly.
but he came
Horses
back.
are soft.
Yeah. That's the takeaway here. Horse gets hurt in the first half of the Super Bowl, 30-minute halftime show. They're taking him out in the parking lot somewhere in the desert and shooting him. And then we start the second
It's
half.
an animal that runs so fast its lungs bleed. Soft.
Wow.
If you weren't so soft, your lungs would be fine.
Dumb horses.
Horses would not have survived Mars if they got out of the lock.
At Happer Show, are horses soft? Now, see, that's a great question.
That is a
because
great question.
Someone's going to scroll through it and go, well, yeah, if I brush
pet
a
'em,
horse,
yeah, their
it's
manes are
soft."
beautiful
Yeah,
and soft. Of course they are.
Yeah.
And some will have their minds in the gutter and think that you're talking about something else involving a horse. And so that's,
I like how the normal people in the room are like, yeah, manes. And Jimmy's like, let's talk about penises.
this segment brought to you by
There's a drop.
Hims and Nikki Haley for president.
Nice. Jimmy, you're kind of like unhinged today.
This is what 4 cups of Scooter's coffee will do to you, folks.
Yeah.
Local.
That's-
Always local.
That's true. I think you're just standing there with your hand on your hip. You're like, oh, let's go. Let's fire these suckers off. I got like 5 minutes left
He
on
doesn't
air.
get many of these, so
Yeah.
he's got to
Make it count. No dump button, but also my last day with my work friends before we take
That's
a break.
true.
before
Let
he gets
Jimmy
to go to the
cook.
desert
Let Jimmy
for
cook.
Christmas.
What do you guys? What
Not
do you
to
guys,
kill a horse.
Yeah, what are you guys doing next week? So you're off to.
We're going to a bowl game.
Unlike
Yeah.
the slackers
In a baseball park.
Unlike the slackers in this room, I'll be hosting radio shows.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we're on tomorrow next week.
All of them?
I don't
all
know
of
who the
them.
hell I'm going to be hosting with though, because my current co-host is like, "Hey, I got to go to California to go snowboarding. Sorry, I'm out of here."
That's probably smart.
I said, and I can't be mad at you for that.
And what's Adrian doing?
His lovely fiance is going back to California for the first time. She hasn't been there, so he's excited about that. Josh Land is filling in with me tonight.
Yes,
Really?
he buried the lead.
Oh God, that's a horrible
10-21,
mistake.
and you're just hearing this.
What are you doing that for? You're giving him the opportunity to talk on the radio.
I have questions that I think many need answered.
Yeah.
So we'll
Tiny baby show.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's got some things to say about the Buffs.
Yeah, we have a segment called Who Wants to Smoke? Spoiler alert, it's him tonight.
Is your call screener prepared for the amount of vitriol?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Coming this way?
It's corporate Dan.
Okay.
So he's locked in. Ready
Corporate
Dan. And he's not afraid to let the callers know what's up. So
okay, that's good. That's good.
Poor Dan.
That's how I've always
I love
known
it.
Dan personally.
Yeah.
He's got a great customer service background. I like the idea of Dan sitting there yelling at people on the phone.
It's happened.
No, you go to hell.
And those are just coworkers.
Yeah. That's just when I call him.
Yeah.
It's got to be your bull.
Yeah.
He called me one time from work, and
that'll be fun.
He'll be on tonight, 6 to 8. Make sure you guys tune in for that. We got a
Tiny Baby Radio.
Elkhorn North's state championship winning baseball team coming in studio too. So
people forget
Connor. Baseball.
Also,
I love baseball.
but also to talk Colorado football.
yeah, they're
They're in for a surprise.
Anthony Dunn's going to give us his Coach Prime takes. So
ask him about the Royals.
yeah,
Yeah.
should I ask him if they're the Dodgers of the AL?
Yeah.
Many people are wondering.
Please do.
Ask the whole baseball community how they feel about this.
I will ask the folks of Elkhorn North to go out, and I do that every time. I almost say Millard North almost every time I reference them. To go out and vote on your guys' poll.
That's Jimmy Allen, Jimmie.
We had Coach Prince in last year, and she was
Ron?
Where is he at?
She was going to come in tonight, but they had something come up. We had her in last year, and I was like, we were talking off air beforehand. I was like, blah blah blah, Millard North, blah blah blah, Millard North. She goes, yeah, you should eventually have Elkhorn North in too, without missing a beat. I was like, that's a good point. And I'm also like wearing an Elkhorn North shirt at the time too, so like it's literally written on my chest, and I was still messing it up. So there's that.
So Ron Prince.
Look what you did.
So Ron Prince is on the staff with the Lions right now. Did I know
Detroit
this?
ones?
Please
say the BC Lions.
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not. This is before
I was
that.
going to say, I thought
So
that
he
was
went
like
back to
5 years ago.
So
He
he
hasn't
went.
coached since 2019.
Yeah,
Still beat Texas twice.
He had 1 year
Still beat
at
Texas twice.
Howard when he went 1-8, and then he was placed
Was
on
the one win over
administrative leave after that.
Was the one win over Texas?
Probably.
I do not think so. We can find out. Though.
He owns Texas. There's
No,
a
they
dance.
were
commemorating.
actually able to beat Delaware State.
Take that,
And
Delaware
then
State.
after he was placed on administrative leave, they played one more game without him, and they won that game.
Delaware State is not the Hens with the rip-off Michigan helmets, right? That's just Delaware.
Correct.
Just
That'd be the Delaware Blue Hens. The Delaware State Hornets
Yes.
of the MEAC.
That was my second guess.
Yeah, I wonder what their Ken Pom
Hornets.
rating is right now.
Simple.
I'm going to guess it starts with a 3.
Yes, let's find out just to make
They're-
sure.
They're
No
just randomly
disparaging.
like top 45 somehow.
Josh, that is correct. 308. Not as bad as I
Good
thought
job.
it might be.
Shout out to the 308.
Put up the Josh was right meme. Put it up there.
Josh was
Josh was right.
right. Worst Ken Pom rating in the country right now belongs to Mississippi Valley State.
Fighting Jerry Rice's.
was gonna
Oh
say Jerry Rice
boy,
is
that
rolling
is a
over his
lot of
grave.
red. They have lost every game they've played this year.
Sure.
I would hope so.
And
They're the worst Ken Pom rating in the country.
like my
They
math
have
test in
the
school.
What's
worst.
their closest margin of victory?
They have the worst offensive efficiency in the country and the 7th worst defensive efficiency in the country.
Ooh.
Their closest game, they were able to lose by 3 to Pacific
So Pacific didn't cover.
in overtime.
They
Nice
play,
job by them.
They play Baylor tonight.
Yes, they do.
The
They have a
line's
.03
Is the line
chance to
over
win.
42.5?
Ken Pom says
There are Baylor jokes I could make here, but I'd like to keep my job. So I'm just going to toe
Thank
the
you.
line here.
Nice.
Let's be honest. You're getting pretty close to the line right now. Before that
Ken Pom has losing by 38 tonight. So
what does our good friends at the FanDuel Sportsbook have, Josh?
I'm
Promo code
looking.
1620.
I'm sure it's
Wow.
promo
Nice
code
work, Jimmy.
Happer.
Thank you.
40.5.
Company boy.
Not 6 or not quite 6 touchdowns.
Over
I don't know. I kind of like the Delta Devils.
over under
Ooh.
137.5.
Well, that means so Baylor's going to score 100. Do you count Mississippi Valley State giving you 38 points?
See, that's
or
the
not?
problem with playing Mississippi Valley State. When you beat them, it doesn't matter how much you beat them by. You still actually end up worse on the backside of it because you've played them.
And you didn't cover.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure
Remember on this
Nebraska, the year that they won 20 games and didn't make the NCAA tournament. I'm pretty sure they played Mississippi Valley State and were actually dinged for it.
So Baylor NIT, you heard it here first.
That's right.
It's happening.
Book your tickets now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
NIT
what
fever,
year would that
catch
have been 18, I guess, probably, or 17. Anyway, whatever.
Yeah.
That doesn't matter.
Either way.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
a lot of points will be scored by the team in green.
Yeah.
let you guys go.
All right, buddy.
You
I'm
guys
gonna
have a
eat some
great
Raising
show.
Cane's and not eat some coleslaw.
I'm
Extra bread,
I'm gonna
extra
eat the
sauce.
coleslaw, baby. Love the slaw.
Oh.
Extra bread, got to do it.
Team slaw.
Love the carbs. I'm
Give
not
me
gonna
those
get fat on my
carbs.
own.
All right.
Love the show.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas to you boys too. Can't wait to see what the listeners have crafted for you guys today.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. They got plenty of stuff. They're great producers out there. That's the crossover powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. It's Friday. Start things off next.
That's the crossover. The Connor Happer Show is next on 1620 The Zone. Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
It doesn't seem like any of us are supper people in here.
I was a supper person.
I was
for a
too,
long
and I
time.
moved away from it.
I hate supper. People who call dinner supper call lunch dinner, and these people trigger me.
Dinner is only lunch on weekend, on like a Sunday.
My grandmother would call supper a snack between lunch and dinner, and then sometimes dinner would be dinner, but dinner wouldn't be dinner. I didn't understand these etiquettes.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from a Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Areas of dense fog possible Friday morning. Otherwise, expect cloudy and warm conditions. Temperatures starting the day in the 40s. Clouds will continue to stick around into the afternoon. Then some late day clearing with highs around 50. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
Record inflation. Even with the holidays right around the corner, it's still hammering the budgets of families in need all around the Omaha Metro. Help make Christmas happen for them by giving to the Salvation Army. When you donate, you keep the lights and heat on, put food on the table, and put presents under the tree for families that need it most. Join our effort to love beyond Christmas. Give to the Salvation Army now at omaharedkettle.org. That's omaharedkettle.org.
Ready to change your phone service? You got to check out Boost Infinite Wireless at boostinfinite.com. You get their low-priced service and a brand new iPhone every year. And Boost Infinite's new technology gives you 3 networks for the price of 1. So you get the best quality calls and data anywhere you are. No one can do that except Boost. Switch today at boostinfinite.com or call 855-55-BOOST. See boostinfinite.com for terms and conditions.
Suicide can be prevented by knowing the warning signs, and most importantly, knowing what to do if you recognize those signs in yourself, a loved one, or even a stranger. There are simple ways you can be there for someone, so they can be here for more tomorrows. Visit moretomorrowsne.org to learn the signs, how to approach the conversation, and where to get help. Or call 988 for help now. That's moretomorrowsne.org.
Email any of our shows anytime into the Equitable Bank inbox. At Equitable, we take banking personally. For me, John at 1620thezone.com. The Equitable Bank inbox from 1620 The Zone.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
Dr. Macchiarini, he's the best in the world.
Starring Edgar Ramirez and Mandy Moore.
I take a 3D printed trachea and transform it into a living organ.
It's still an extremely experimental procedure.
Based on a breathtaking true story.
She's sitting there with a bloody time bomb in her throat.
What did you do to them?
Something's not right.
Dr. Death. New doctor. New story. Stream the Peacock Original series now.
Williamsburg Pizza has an amazing rewards program, but why should you join? Well, discounts, free pizza, it's those things and more. You can use your rewards anytime. No punch cards. Just earn your rewards and redeem them however you choose. Save up for larger discounts or use them for smaller discounts along the way. They even deliver. Williamsburg Pizza. Made fresh, made delicious, made for you. How it should be. Southwest corner of 168th and Harrison next to Jimmy John's or at williamsburgpizza.com.
42 Degrees wants to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to our loyal customers. You made 2023 our best year ever. So to say thank you, now through December 31st, everything at every store marked as buy one, get one half off. Check out the selection of great products at 42degrees.com. Then head to the source with the friendliest, most knowledgeable, and professional staff. It's buy one, get one at 50% off. Buy your mom's house.
It's the Connor Happer Show with Connor Happer and Josh Otson. Let's get ready to rumble.
Licensing of the phrase "Let's get ready to rumble" just over the last 7+ years internationally is grossed approximately close to $400 million in retail sales.
Really?
You guys look like, what do they look like, Jimmy?
Dorks. They look like a couple of dorks.
On 1620, The Zone.
Hello, welcome in. Happy Friday. It is the Connor Happer Show here on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Connor Happer and Josh Hudson with you. Happy Friday. We have reached the end of our year here at 1620 The Zone.
We did it.
Yeah, we did it. We got we'll look back.
Mm-hmm.
We'll look forward.
Year 3 begins on.
Year 3 begins. Oh, have I said this yet? By the way, let me straighten up here real quick.
Do you want the sounder?
No. Well, it's not breaking news. Well, I guess it would be breaking news.
No one has announced it yet.
Nobody has announced it yet. I have an announcement.
It is bigger news than I normally hit the sounder for.
Nah, don't hit it.
Okay.
Don't hit it. We're back. Now, people are probably thinking, "What? You're back? Were you going to go anywhere?" Well, how it works, little peek behind the curtain is we usually me have
not me
2-year contracts. This is the end of the second year of the Connor Happer Show and my time working at 1620 The Zone. And as of a few days ago, we just ran it back. We just banged that thing out again. So 2 more years. People are saying they invited me back, and I said, hell yes, absolutely. I'm coming back. And that's what we're going to do. They call it. Now, I didn't get quite as much money as Shohei Ohtani.
But your contract is backloaded, yes?
No, it's same loaded.
Interesting.
Every time it's the same. So yeah, it's cool. We're back. I'll see. I'll talk to you guys on January 2nd. Then we'll be here.
We will. We'll be here the 2nd. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. The 2nd. Kind of feels early, you know?
Yeah.
And I think they should do this like school where they just give them like a whole month and they're like, yeah, we can't go back to school on a Tuesday, so let's just do another week.
Yeah. Oh, but that week is MLK Day.
Yeah,
let's have another
let's
week.
Just go back to. Let's just do the 22nd. Can we do the 22nd? That's great. What? You get off December 7th? You're going out? Yes, that's right. No, we're gonna get the 1 week. We're very happy with that. And we will we'll run it back for year 3, beginning on January 2. Before then, there will be college football playoff games that we haven't spoken a single word about yet, Josh.
Interesting.
There's we'll watch the sunset behind the San Gabriels as we get ready to, on New Year's Day, as God intended, watch Alabama and Michigan in the college football playoff. Not as God intended.
Thanks, calendar.
Thank you, calendar. But Michigan, Rose Bowl, SEC team, Rose Bowl, you know.
Michigan, Alabama, it's a helmet matchup. Though.
It's good. And the Pac-12 is dead, so you got to put somebody else in there. Or is it? Washington made the playoff, and they, for their reward, get to go to the Sugar Bowl, being the 2 seed in the college football playoff. They're like, Let's go 5 hours down the road from Austin, Texas, where we get to play the Texas Longhorns, who are back.
Ish.
Well, they're in the playoff, Josh. I mean, that kind of makes you back, doesn't it?
I don't know. I'll be honest.
All right.
I can't tell yet.
The playoff games are on New Year's Day. We'll have a full day of football that day.
Love it.
I got to be honest, I haven't watched 1 second of any bowl games.
You didn't watch the Boca Raton Bowl last night?
Nope.
Oh, well, we're going to talk about it in the odd news.
Are we? Was there something odd that happened during it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Syracuse forgot to show up.
The only thing... Oh, somebody did mention that in one of the things that we should have talked about today, which was Syracuse handing the ball off to one guy 21 times and him rushing for 0 yards. Is that the truth? Is that real?
I don't know about that. I know they lost 31-0.
I thought it was 45-0, wasn't it?
Maybe.
Okay.
I might have been quoting the halftime score.
See, this is me not knowing anything about bowl games.
45-0, yes.
45-0.
20 carries, 2 yards for LaQuint Allen.
Tough day for at the yard for LaQuint.
A long of 6.
Yeah. I don't know if he had like a 40-yard loss in there somewhere just to make it look bad. As a team, Syracuse ran it for 41 carries for 20 yards, which is good enough for an average of 0.5 yards per carry. Nice job by them. I guess there's a reason why they're getting an entirely new coaching staff and all new players next year. One of which is Kyle McCord. People forget about that. Josh writes in, which you can as well on the J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed.
Hi, Josh.
Josh said 2 more years. Josh, fire it up. I'm coming home. I'm coming home. Tell the world I'm coming home.
Let the rain wash away.
Yep.
Tell the world I'm coming.
Exactly. We should have back where I belong. We should have just played. We should have played it, because that's what everybody. They used it for the Doug night the other night, and I thought we all just canceled that song
after it didn't work for Scott Frost.
Yeah.
No, we're not letting him have that.
Okay, Dylon did it too. I think
we're gonna.
Dylon put it in the background of his video.
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, I did not know that when I put that in his intro.
Jack John.
Hi, Jack John.
Connor, you should have started a rumor that you were on a plane headed somewhere to get paid. You got to learn how to rip these guys off. Yeah, I should have done some more ripping off, but I'm not a good ripper offer.
Many would say you rip off Energy Media every day from 10 to 2, Connor.
Some would say that. Some would say that. I don't know about many, but maybe some.
Where did this rumor get started that we take a lot of flack?
Do we take flack?
That's what somebody said yesterday, and then I saw it like 3 more times.
Oh, yeah. This is, like I said yesterday, this is the time of year where everybody's like, man, thank you for what you guys do. And it's really like, it's really, truly humbling and nice. People always say it's humbling. So I figured I'd throw that in there. It's humbling and nice. People don't know how to act, they're like, yeah, you guys take a whole bunch of crap, right? Nah, we just get mad sometimes. We just kind of trigger ourselves sometimes. It's really okay. Overall, we have good lives. Josh, you have a good life?
Yeah, I like it.
I have a good life. We're doing good. But yes, we're coming home. There's your breaking news to start the show today. Don't know if it needed to be said, but it was said.
I'm sure someone appreciated the announcement.
You can send in an email as well to the Equitable Bank inbox. Connor, Josh O at 1620thezone.com. You can call or text 402-951-1620 on the 42 degrees The Source hotline. And the aforementioned J-Tech Construction Zone Twitter feed as well. We also like to say good morning to our YouTube watching audience today.
My people.
Dave says, glad to see Connor and Josh working today.
Yeah, I found that a lot of people are actually not working today.
We work most days except for Fridays in the summer, and that's just me.
I mean, 237. I mean, it's a pretty good percentage.
So is that 237 with both of us? Is that what you're saying? Or is it 237 just... How'd you get to 237?
I eliminated the weekends.
Okay.
Holidays.
Yes.
And College World Series.
Okay.
I don't count those as Connor Happer shows.
And what do you think? You probably missed 5 to 7 shows, maybe more, like 7 to 10 shows.
Yeah.
And I probably missed 7 to 10 shows that were other than those shows.
Yeah,
So this is we're probably in the neighborhood of like, I don't know, 210 or something like that together.
Yeah.
210 shows.
That's where I'd put the number.
Josh and I didn't even know each other 2 years ago today.
No.
We had never met.
And now you're my best friend.
And now you're my best friend. Damn it.
He can't laugh with this cough.
I know. It's really bad.
And I can't not make people laugh.
And everybody, and now you have 2 more rings than you had. And I feel inadequate. And people love your hats.
Yeah. They were talking about the NBA on NBC hat.
Yes.
Both times. I thought they were talking about this Rawlings hat that I got at the Omaha Baseball Village.
Yeah, that's just a normal hat.
Yeah.
They do love your NBA on NBC hat, though.
Gets a lot of compliments. I think we're up to 8 or 9 now.
Almost as what were people complimenting me on that one day?
It was a shirt of yours, a hoodie or a quarter zip, one of your many quarter zips. He's got quarter zip money, this guy.
I do. I'm like Nick Grimm. Quarter zip money. All right. So here we are. Earlier today, I on Twitter asked you all, hey, hashtag just curious. If you guys were hosting a radio show in Omaha, Nebraska on December 22nd, 2023, what would you talk about? Got a lot of responses. We'll sift through them. You know, I'd figured, you guys don't get to produce a radio show very often, so today's a great day for it. On top of that, we'll have our regular guest, Bryan Munson, will join us to cap off the recruiting class here in about 15 minutes. Bryan Christopherson after that. Steve Sipple in the noon hour. I have texted him. We got a tip this morning, and it said, hey, make sure you text Sipple and tell him to charge his phone. And I thought, well, that kind of seems counterintuitive. Apparently, he was on the morning show this morning, and his phone died or charged his phone or something like that. I have texted Sipple, charge your phone, all caps, kind of forcefully, to which he has responded 5 minutes ago, yes, face in palm emoji and 100 emoji.
This guy uses emojis and loves TikTok. What an upset.
Yep. So Sipple will be set to join us in under 2 hours. That is the lineup powered by the Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard. We're off and running on a Friday, the final day for us of 2023. Back with more on 1620 The Zone.
Remember, no matter how you listen, it's still AM radio. 1620 The Zone.
Wendy's Peppermint Frosty and Frosty Cream Cold Brew make the perfect gift for anyone in your life, especially for you. Yeah, this year you're sitting on your own lap and getting yourself what you want. Finally. And now every day this season, unlock 20% off your total when you get any small, medium, or large Frosty in the Wendy's app. So order something from your own wish list this year.
Limited time only. Participating U.S. Wendy's with app offer and registration. Applies to menu items only. Taxes and fees excluded.
This week, Zone has 5 great deals, half off. That's right. Each day this week, we'll have a new deal, half off, that's perfect for those last-minute gift ideas. You'll find deals from Early Bird, Le Voltaire, Ted and Wally's Ultra Premium Ice Cream, Williamsburg Pizza, and Ramona's Mexican Restaurant, all for half off. Make sure to log on at 9 a.m. each day to see what deal we have available, because these half off deals will go fast. Head to 1620thezone.com and click deals now.
I never thought I'd struggle to afford groceries at my age. This isn't how I want to live.
If you're facing food insecurity, there's a place to turn. Visit foodbankheartland.org today to find food near you or to make a donation.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard. Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks.
Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Start learning a new language today. Go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Ramona's Mexican Restaurant, previously located at 30th and Reddick and now located at 30th and Willett in historic Florence, is still the way you remember. Nachos, deep fried burrito, that beast of a cheeseburger, and those amazing cinnamon chips. Have a margarita or a cocktail. Open until 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturdays, too. You can even host your private party. Ramona's Mexican Restaurant. Stop in today and follow them on Facebook for specials and news about their monthly musical bingo.
Omaha men's basketball takes on the Denver Pioneers. The Summer League season is here. Hi, everybody. I'm Gary Sharp, voice of Omaha men's basketball. The Mavs and the Pioneers from Baxter Arena. Coming up on Thursday night. Join me courtside for the pregame show at 6:30 on News Talk 1290 Coil and the tip-off of the Summer League opener at 7 between Omaha and Denver.
This year, be sure your giving includes the Heart Ministry Center. Located at 24th and Binney, Heart Ministry Center provides food, health care, and a way forward to people severely affected by poverty in Omaha. Your donation helps make all we do possible. Please visit us online at heartministrycenter.org. You can also take a tour or volunteer. You'll see just what it means to be part of the Heart. Heart Ministry Center, dignity for all.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, so we got a lot to sift through on the listener-produced show today, including this one, humbling, MC17. Spend the whole show saying before every sentence like you normally do. So annoying. Am I right?
Looking back on it,
I do say a lot.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a crutch. I apologize. I'm not so good at talking. People wonder how I got this job all the time. All right, so Bob wrote this one in.
How about?
And I've seen this going around today, so it's somewhat topical as well. So it gets to the top of the list. How butthurt Nebraska fans are by Kirk Ferentz's comments. So Kirk Ferentz did his media deal yesterday, and one of the aggregator accounts, Husker aggregator accounts, decided to grab the video out of context and put it out there and basically say, hey, Kirk Ferentz is definitely talking about Dylan Raiola in Nebraska here when he mentioned, I think there's some things that we have to look into when people go to multiple high schools over multiple years. Like there's questions that I want answers to and things like that. Guys, there's the I don't know how to say this politely, really. Not everything is about Nebraska. All right? Not everything is about Nebraska. That's all. I don't know how else to say it. Kirk Ferentz likes to take his shots every now and then, and even if he was taking his shots, I don't think he was. I don't think he was talking about Nebraska at all. Once again, not everything is about you. The whole world doesn't revolve around Nebraska.
You're not the main character in your own story.
I guess you're the main character in your own story,
okay.
I suppose. But maybe like in this story, it's okay. Also, if the rival coach wanted to take shots at the rival school, like that's fine. But that's not what's happening here.
Shouldn't you be happy that you're living rent-free in Kirk Ferentz's head?
If you believe that Kirk Ferentz was referring to Dylan Raiola in Nebraska, that's a great take, Josh. Great takeaway from this. LOL, rent-free, and then just move on. It's okay. I don't believe he was talking about Nebraska. I believe he was just answering a question in general about recruiting. And I think in Dylan Raiola's case, they got some of the answers that they wanted and needed, and they obviously know the family quite well. So we can sit here and talk about nonstop how much of a red flag it is that Dylan Raiola has been to 100 schools and lived in a bunch of different places and stuff like that. But Matt Rule and Dominic Raiola and the Raiola family in general have a great relationship, have an incredible relationship. That's why he's here. in the first place. So you don't think he has maybe some answers to those questions, or I don't even know what direction we're trying to go with it. I think he's got answers. I think he did probably his homework maybe while recruiting anyone that might be on his roster. And that's basically what Kirk was saying. He was just talking about, if that's the case, we just want answers. Okay, cool. Got him.
I think he was talking about our beloved Dylon.
Oh, he was.
But this is another instance of the soft segment of the Nebraska fan base being triggered over almost quite literally nothing. What are you mad about?
Nice.
What is there to be mad about what Kirk said?
I like when you have this thing and then you just look into the camera.
Right at the camera.
You're talking to
I'm a
people.
TV star.
I know. I got to get to that point. I'm looking off into outer space. I'm bad at eye contact.
You're saying
I'm saying All right, so that was the first one. Now we have a potpourri of some other ones before we get to Munson here. Ryan asked, defining where exactly is downtown Omaha?
Oh, interesting.
Now, I haven't had a chance to really think about this that much, but we could suss this out together.
Yeah.
Where is downtown Omaha? Define the boundaries of downtown Omaha. All right, so let's just start big, and then maybe if we can zoom in, we can.
Okay.
So the west boundary, it does not go any further west than, let's call it 24th.
Right.
All right. It does not go any further east than the river.
Right.
It does not go any further north than Cumming.
Okay.
Are you okay with that?
I would have went the arenas.
But I mean, Cumming is just north of the the baseball stadium.
I'm sorry.
Does not go any further north than Cumming.
Mm-hmm.
It does not go any further south than Pacific.
I was thinking the Durham Museum.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
I go streets, you go landmarks. That's okay.
I navigate like a female, yes.
Now how do we want to zoom in from there? Thank you, Alyssa, for the popcorn.
Alyssa.
Where do we want to zoom in from there? I think we could bring the west boundary in.
We could.
Do you want to go to 16th? Or do you want to exclusively just wrap a big circle around like the downtown as we know it? Basically what we're talking about is the old market.
16th is good because
16th would include some of Creighton's campus.
Yeah. Block 16
or no, it wouldn't. I'm sorry. Creighton doesn't go that far east.
Yeah. I like 16th. You get the theater in there, you get
okay.
Block 16.
All right. You good with the north boundary?
Mm-hmm.
You good? So we got Nodo and we got Old Market.
Right.
They're all in there, and then anything in between, which is just hotels and places to walk.
And a streetcar soon that nobody asked for.
Yep. And the south boundary is pretty much right on the line there. Okay. That's good.
I'm very comfortable with the boundary we've defined.
North boundary Cumming, west boundary 16th, south boundary the Durham, east boundary the river. Done. Questions answered. Thank you for the question, Ryan.
We nailed it.
Sea Dog.
What up, Sea Dog?
Running commentary on the happenings in the Goldbergs parking lot. Now, unfortunately, we can't see the Goldbergs parking. Well, I don't know. Do we share the Goldbergs parking lot to the west of us here? Is that the Goldbergs parking lot technically, or is it on the other side? Because we can only see one parking lot, and I think it's ours.
Yeah, it's ours. The other side is where you parked that one day and bought me a nice coffee.
That's right. That's right. Okay. Well, if we could see it, maybe we can get a camera out there or something like that. But can't necessarily bring you running commentary of the things occurring in the Goldbergs parking lot. And then I like this one from Jimmy. Another Jimmy. We got Jimmy's all over the place this morning. This is Jimmy Palmer. The zoo. He would like to talk about the zoo. I am a big fan of the zoo. I have not been to the zoo in a long time, though. I did not go this entire calendar year.
The zoo's incredible. I went more times this year than ever.
Wow.
I famously have a child.
I love the zoo. There's places to go inside. There's places to go outside. You can walk, you can stretch your legs, you can keep yourself entertained, you can talk to the zoo chicks, you can get
shout out zoo chicks.
You can get great food, you can ride the train, you can see the Takins, the mountain goats on the mountain over there. I love the Takins. I love those goats. And I still think the jungle is the goat.
The recently reopened jungle.
Really? The jungle was closed.
It was.
Whew, scary. Glad I didn't go when the jungle was closed. I would have felt like I got ripped off.
I believe they started a major renovation during COVID.
Gotcha.
It's now closed. As
Gotcha.
Maybe you've realized, COVID done.
I like the Desert Dome. If we need a break from, being outside, we want to stay nice and calm in there. It's not a real high intensity walk inside of the Desert Dome.
It's very dark down below.
The Kingdom of the Night.
Yes.
Now, the Kingdom of the Night is a bit of an intense walking experience. You can see the albino alligator. See that thing pop up a little bit. Don't reach your hand in the water too much. It might bite your fingers off.
That's what I tell my child.
Something like that. So yeah, I'm pro zoo all the way in on the zoo. We have the best zoo. We get better every year. Nobody's catching us. That's my take on the zoo.
Good take.
To the phones. We have Mark on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Hi, Mark.
Yeah, you're I can live with your east, north, and south borders of downtown, but you're way off on the west border.
Okay, give it to me.
Yeah, you don't even have at 16th Street. You don't even have the Woodman building in there. So common.
Do I need that?
Yeah, that's at 17th.
Okay. So do you want to go one block out, or do you want to go all the way to like 20th?
Why do I need the Woodman?
Hell, mentally, I would go all the way to 480, but I will go. I can live with your original 24th Street.
24th Street. That way you include Central High, which is a downtown. It's a downtown high school. Okay.
The old schooler building. Yeah. So I would go at 24th. The rest of it was A-okay.
That's a big downtown, Mark.
Well, it's walkable.
Not really. If you're going from the west boundary to the east boundary, I mean that's quite a jaunt there.
Well, you've never lived in a big city.
That's definitely
it's doable.
Yeah, okay. It's doable. All right, thank you for the call, Mark. I appreciate it.
All right, guys. Thanks.
Little constructive criticism there. What do you think?
We take so much flack on this show.
We're going back out to 24th now? Or are we going all the way to 480?
I would contend I don't need the Woodman Tower in my downtown. What's it do?
Wow.
It's not even the tallest building anymore.
But come on, it's Omaha.
It's third tallest in a few years.
But it's Omaha. It's the Woodman Tower. It's
so iconic.
Omaha. It's iconic.
You think about the Woodman Tower so much.
I'd like
your day-to-day life.
I love when I drive back and I'm gone from Omaha for a couple days or weeks or whatever it might be, and I cross over that bridge and I see that beautiful Woodman Tower right next to that other First National Bank Tower. And I'm like, wow, this is it. This is my home. But I like when it says Woodman on the side, and people from out of town are like, hey, what's that building down there that says Woodman on it? What's it mean? And I say, I don't know.
There you go. That was going to be my follow-up
I have no idea.
You don't even know what the Woodman does.
Woodman of the world? What is that? I have no idea. Is it insurance? Who knows? Nobody really knows. But we love the Woodman. We love the Woodman Tower. From Steve on Twitter. Hi, Josh. Not related to helping produce the show, but I wanted to wish a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. All right, we're going to be joined by Munson here in just a second. Don't want to keep him on the line too long, but while we're on the downtown conversation, maybe we have more takes on it. Back to the phones real quick. Here's Ryan. Hi, Ryan. What's up?
Hey, am I on the air now?
You're on the air.
Oh, sweet. Okay, hey. So I just want to let you guys know I was a graduate of Central High School, and you had mentioned that it's kind of not walkable downtown. Every day after school, I'd walk all the way down to about 9th and Douglas just to, hang out around before I caught the bus home. So I'd go with, 20th, 24th Street's probably downtown, in my opinion.
Okay. Did you wait for did you go to the slides while you were waiting for the bus?
Actually, yeah. Occasionally I would. I'm glad they kept those.
Smart. Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate it. It's
all right. Thank you. Have a good day, guys.
Yep. Merry Christmas. So it's a long walk. It's a hilly walk. You're walking in New York. It's all the same. It's
New
just
York
flat.
City, flat.
This is the Midwest. This is treacherous. There's ups and downs. They had to raise Dodge back in the day. They had to raise Dodge Street. They said this is they had to lower Dodge Street, right? Because that you drive by that church on Dodge Street, and there's that door that's just floating up into the sky. And everyone points at that door and they say, that's where the street used to be. And they lowered it down, and then downtown came after that. So up and down and up and down. Omaha has its quirks, including the Woodman Tower.
Okay.
Chris, now people are just debating on how far they can walk, which I really like.
Anything is walkable.
Anything's walkable.
I walked from Village Point to 78th and Pacific one time. Anything's walkable.
Oh, we can walk. I mean, we can walk. It's just who does it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't find myself doing it very often anyway. Denny says the west boundary should be 20th Street. Aaron says downtown always has to include the business district. A key piece of advice: if you have tall buildings with businesses, it's downtown. Okay, so we'll include the Woodman. I apologize to all the Woodman stands out there.
Why do I have to include it?
Because it has to include the business part.
Why?
That's just what Aaron said. I don't know.
I'm not using
downtown is business and commerce,
the business
and restaurants, nightlife.
Yeah,
that's what downtowns have.
That's what I want.
Yippee says, I'm more concerned with what is considered Midtown. There is Midtown Crossing at 36, but Omaha can go to like 192nd.
That's
Midtown? That's
probably the more debatable geographic area of Omaha, right?
I guess so. I mean, there was a time when all of our lives were 72nd was West Omaha.
Mm-hmm. Anyone over the age of 55 will tell you.
Yeah. Back in my day, this only used to go to 100th Street.
We
got 200th Street.
Whenever I told an old I went to Burke High School, they're like, "Oh,
way out there,
in
the boonies."
What, you mean the middle of town now?
How many high schools in Omaha are west of Burke now? 3, 6,
9. Damn girl, you fine.
So, do you include Catholic high schools like you have Scott? I thought of at least 7 just off the top of my head. All the Millards and all of the Elkhorns and Scott. Well, there's probably more than that. Okay.
Probably.
Bryan Munson's next. Great show. 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
There's, there to be, beginning, there's help. They're, being there.
This is Nikki Haley. Look, I'll just say it. Biden's too old, and Congress is the most exclusive nursing home in America. Washington keeps failing because politicians from yesterday can't lead us into tomorrow.
Nikki Haley, a new generation of conservative leadership.
We need term limits, mental competency tests for politicians over 75, and a real plan to defeat China and restore our economy. I've long said Biden's not going to make it, and a vote for Joe Biden is a vote for President Kamala Harris. Republicans need to leave behind the chaos and drama of the past with a new generation and a new conservative president. I'm Nikki Haley, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Nikki Haley for president.
The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Williamsburg Pizza is famous in New York, and it's about to be famous in Omaha. Why? Williamsburg Pizza uses chow tomatoes from Italy, local Italian sausage, and 100% all-natural mozzarella. Then there's Nino's award-winning fermented dough. What comes out of their oven is pizza made fresh, made delicious, made for you. How it should be. Come taste the difference of the recipes created by Nino Coniglio. Williamsburg Pizza, southwest corner of 168th and Harrison, next to Jimmy John's, or williamsburgpizza.com.
I'm former Husker Terry Keneally.
And I'm former Husker Titus Adams.
Titus and I used to sack quarterbacks, but now we're fighting for the children of East Omaha.
Terry and I are on the board of the Q's Fund, which supports the Q's school system, made up of Holy Name, All Saints, and Sacred Heart School, which I am a proud graduate of.
Our students receive a values-based education with the family support they need.
And they go on to graduate high school at a 96% rate.
Learn more about our children at qschools.org.
Suicide can be prevented by knowing the warning signs, and most importantly, knowing what to do if you recognize those signs in yourself, a loved one, or even a stranger. There are simple ways you can be there for someone, so they can be here for more tomorrows. Visit moretomorrowsne.org to learn the signs, how to approach the conversation, and where to get help. Or call 988 for help now. That's moretomorrowsne.org.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
Time out!
Bryan Munson.
Hey, long call. Comfy left Zoom Buster. 63 Bang Z Maui. Alert. Paradise Z Burger Y Wrap. All one.
Husker Online on the Connor Happer Show. On 1620, The Zone.
All right, and we're joined. Look at the live view of the Woodman Tower downtown.
No.
Josh hates the Woodman Tower. He says, get that off my screen.
Small-ass tower.
I think Omaha. I think the Woodman Tower. We're joined by Bryan Munson of Husker Online and the 42 Degrees Source Hotline. Hi, Bryan. How are you?
I just saw your poll on Twitter, dude. That was awesome.
The people, we just were taking questions today. We're letting the audience kind of produce the show. Like, it's our last show of the year today. And somebody asked the boundaries of downtown, and that spun off into a conversation about, apparently we had this realization that Josh Odson hates the Woodman Tower and doesn't want to include it in downtown.
I don't think about it ever.
Wow. I didn't realize that. That's yeah, you have to include that. It's iconic. It's iconic to Omaha. You have to do that.
I would assume that Nebraska is using the Woodman Tower in their recruiting efforts. Am I wrong?
Well, obviously it goes Woodman Tower to Chimney Rock. So those are the two poles then on the east and the west side of Nebraska. So
we have taller towers.
No,
that's right. There's your twin towers for Nebraska.
There you go.
No, and then I saw your poll about are puppets ever cool? Oh my gosh, Triumph, the comic dog.
Yeah, we've had many. This is brought up in the morning crossover by the Jimmies. I actually think there's been many cases where puppets have been cool.
There's nothing better than Triumph the Insult comic dog, man. That guy was.
It's a good one.
That guy was hilarious.
It's a good one. Munson. Yep. So we wrapped up the recruiting class, and now there's going to be some things that happen over the next couple of weeks here, but that's for a later time. We're finally put this one to bed after a after a long 2 weeks trying to figure out what was going to happen and dominoes falling after that. How do we feel right now?
I think pretty good. I think I don't know how anything could be actually less than good with getting a guy like, Dylan Raiola to get into the class so late in the cycle. But I think what you can point back towards is just that there was not enough time to kind of capitalize with anybody else to kind of bring him to Nebraska with Raiola. And honestly, guys, I mean, it's one of those things too. It's like, where were you going to generate the space to kind of add anybody else to the class in the first place? So you would have had to have planned around those guys anyway, or at least had some space come the December timeframe to go ahead and get somebody like Raiola in to where you could go ahead and produce, some sort of room for Wingo, Baker, any other name you want to throw out here, Frazier, somebody else that could have been interested in following along and trying to do something along with Raiola up in Lincoln. But the numbers at the end of it all, I mean, even adding the 3 guys at the, on signing day, and, you've got those other roster improvements, of course, in Nebraska is doing, like with Rugeroli, and you just sit there and you go, okay, they're adding a ton of guys. I think that there's 12 or 13 guys going to be joining the team in January alone out of this whole group, out of everything we discussed, over the last 24, 36 hours. So it's a very good group. I think obviously with the Purdy moving out too, the questions need to start, like, how ready can Raiola be, and what does that room look like now, and how are things going to kind of go during the spring? So go ahead and start kicking off those questions.
So I was looking and I plugged all the names into, and I don't know this is 100% correct at the moment, but I was plugging all the new names into my scholarship chart that I keep. And so I now, and you look before this class and the last, and Nebraska was really in a situation where they just didn't have enough bodies on the offensive line, and that led to those same basically 5 guys starting all of the games that they have, and some of them are coming back next year, which is good. So they have this old they have old people on their roster, they have experienced people on their roster, and now over the last 2 years, and I know there's going to be some guys that move over to defensive line, and that's sort of a murky picture, I guess, at least a little bit. But in the last 2 classes, they've added 10 offensive linemen. They have 20 scholarship offensive linemen at the moment. Like, that was something that clearly was seen right away by Matt Rule, and it's been sort of adjusted on the fly.
And I think the feedback of the guys that joined in the 2023 class has been pretty good. I mean, I think things have gotten dangerously close to a guy like Gatula needing to go ahead and step up and play and step out of a red shirt. But I mean, for all intents and purposes, he's had a good freshman year. His redshirt freshman year, he was solid. I mean, and there were some folks that kind of said, no, he's a guard, he's an interior guy. Well, no, he's been playing, he's been playing that tackle spot. It's going to be very interesting to see how things kind of move. Getting Bricks on campus in January is going to be really fun to watch, because Nebraska is going to try to find a spot where I think that they can kind of create the quickest, shortest path for him to have some sort of an impact. I would not be surprised at all if that's a guy that, gets his 4 games in the fall and is a guy then that's really going to either be clearly, not redshirting, or definitely a guy that they're going to have to keep in the discussion to not redshirt. I just think that's a very physical, road grading type of guy that they're going to try to find a way to get him on the football field. But I agree with you. I think the depth is there. It would have been, I think we talked about a transfer guy, potentially the need there, but the numbers that they're hitting with the high school classes, and I think the capability and of some of those guys like Talmua and Bricks are really going to put them in the discussion in the fall regardless. Another one that jumped out to me in terms of numbers, you now look at, and Rule had a comment the other day about how they want to kind of, the idea is positionless, and he brought up Carter Nelson in that category. But the position, if you were to categorize these guys into a position, I guess it would be tight end. And they added 4 guys who are playing tight end in high school this year, and they already have a few others
on the roster, and Thomas Fedoni still has 2 years left of eligibility. I mean, think about sort of the future of that quote unquote position and the guys that they take there. And it just feels like there's a lot of possibilities of what they can do for a spot like that on the offense.
Well, and I think so. You're absolutely correct. And I think that if you did take a look at it, at least positionless to me, maybe sounds a little bit more open-ended than I think maybe kind of fitting in and sitting between two different rooms. But I think that you still have some capability there from Carter Nelson to move down and play some more traditional tight end, but most times maybe be out of the slot, moving around, playing somewhere between a U and an H and a Y, and and be able to kind of do that stuff. But look at so Ingerson, more traditional, tight, Flint, more traditional, tight. But look at Keelan Smith.
Yeah.
Keelan Smith and the year that he had last year, almost more of a true X. And that was maybe the one thing. I mean, I know you got Quinn Clark, and Quinn Clark is going to be, in Montana, not joining the team until May or June. It's going to be really interesting to see how Keelan maybe adjusts to the college game and what kind of position he puts himself in next year to kind of get on the football field. I thought he had the most productive, kind of senior season. All the guys that we had tracked all season long, not including Raiola, I was the most impressed every single week going out there and grabbing Smith's stats. I thought he had a heck of a year. So it's going to be really fun to see what he does in Lincoln.
What do you think the plan is right away for Carter Nelson?
I do believe that they're going to try to find different spots that he can be effective. I think that they have some, not necessarily doubts, but I think they have their questions about how effective he can be with, setting the edge block. And that's going to leave part of the playbook out of the discussion for now. So where can we go ahead and play him? Play him out of the slot, play him as a guy that's going to move around. So somewhere between like where Mike McNeil, kind of used to play with going in motion, playing more as an H. And Mike McNeil was light. He was a really, 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 really light tight end. So you didn't find him at all on the line of scrimmage. And most times you found him put in motion, but he was a huge matchup problem downfield. I see Mike McNeil and Carter Nelson as having some similarities, but I think he can kind of grow into, a guy that can be a little bit more physical and has a little bit more size and potential to grow a little bit more and stack on some weight that McNeil didn't have ever. So I think you're going to find a guy that's going to float around between some sort of a hybrid between Y and H, and then a guy that's also going to play more of a jumbo X, and be able to get outside and get on some sort of a small cornerback on the field side. Somebody's going to run a 5'9.5" guy out there and hope to take on Carter. That's the kind of mismatches I think Satterfield and Rule got to be drooling over.
Yeah. I wonder what they'll try to do with that at first, and they seem like they really were intrigued in the possibilities of sort of what his versatility gives them and what, the versatility generally of the class gives them. It is, I guess, before we move on to another thing here, like, is there a takeaway or a consistent theme with the class as a whole? I'm sure you get this question a lot, but, and every position is different, but what's the sort of thing that binds the class, that ties it together?
I do think that there's some nice balance. I think they went out and got that balance. I think when you added, guys like Shavers, to the class late, I think when you start to find these more game ready guys that can kind of come in like Buford and Tarvers, and you got some guys at some other spots that I think that, we're talking about, Raiola, we're talking about the tight ends, we're talking about offensive line already, guys that we feel like are going to have some sort of an impact. And you kind of move over to the other side of the football. You start talking about the linebacker and all the defensive backs. I think there's tremendous balance. I think that there is a deficiency still in the running back spot, but, we're going to talk about an official visitor in January. We won't get too carried away with that right now. You still need that number one guy at wide receiver. Julian Fleming is still out there. There are some new names I think Nebraska fans might be hearing, could hear in January, but I think that you have really found great ways to kind of add immediate depth and guys that can kind of fill in the blank and fit in the picture next fall.
Bryan Munson of Husker Online is with us. Okay, one more thing for you, Muntz.
Yep.
So you wrote about this a little bit today in your call him in the Tunnel Talk. So Caden Green enters the transfer portal from Oklahoma. He's headed off to Missouri. Oklahoma fans very angry, as you know, people have very rational reactions to when people leave their favorite college football teams. And so
you said rational?
Yeah, very, very rational, always. And so what the Oklahoma fans, or some Oklahoma fans, decided to do in this case was go on to Caden Green's parents' business Google reviews and leave horrible reviews, which led to the parents trying to do damage control for the better portion of the last 24 hours. Basically, this is pretty ugly, not good. And you made mention of it. I think it's true. Like, this will this is the type of thing that absolutely will get around to other teams, other coaching staffs, and be like, hey, this is obviously not a great environment, whether it's just a one-off or not, or it's just representative of a small portion of the fan base, which it almost always is. It still looks pretty bad.
It's another horrible portal story when you take a look at it that way, and another way for them to strike back, get out their anger, feel better about themselves and what's happened based on something bad happening to their college football team. I compared it to the awful interview that the former Colorado Buffalo player gave to Jason Whitlock.
Yeah.
And how he talked about his exit interview and how he was treated going out the door. Look, this is the environment, however, that's been created. It's very competitive. It's going to get ugly. It's going to be the one thing where fans are going to be very excited to see, the teams try to improve rosters at the expense of some of the players being cut. And I think at the other side of it is it's going to get really, really difficult for them to handle the emotions of one of their best players deciding to go ahead and leave as well. And this is really where I think things are going to get really slippery. So, but the other side of my tunnel talk, I want to make mention before we
go ahead.
Out, but the Daniel Kaelin stuff that I mentioned in there about, I don't think people are ever going to know or how great of a situation and great of a kid that is to go ahead and look past and beyond, what he can be to this class and this team after a guy like Raiola adds himself to the roster and to the class. I see a lot of parallels to Brooke Berringer being this very selfless, subservient kind of thing, bigger to the team as opposed to the individual. And I tell you what, talking to him throughout the years, since going back really to February when I met him face to face, what a tremendous individual. It would have been a huge blow for that class to not have Kaelin in the group. And he was so important to the process for Grant Bricks, Carter Nelson, and other players to kind of jump in there, as well as his two teammates that also are going down to Lincoln with him. So I think it was very important that Nebraska kept him as part of the incoming class.
I agree. And to piggyback off of that a little bit, it just, if they would have gotten Raiola and they would have lost Kaelin to somewhere else, or he just decided, I've dealt with this too much and we're just not going to go there. I've stood in the shadow for Raiola for too long. That would have been completely understandable. But if they would have signed that class and it's without him, but it's with Dylan Raiola, it's still great for Nebraska. But it would have felt a little kind of empty, right? There would have been probably some people looking around like, what if on that situation? So that just ties it up.
I said it out loud to my wife, I think, or my brother in the car, and I said, this team under Matt Rule are going to need a lot more Daniel Kaelins than they are going to need Dylan Raiolas. That's not a slam on Dylan Raiola. They're going to need all the Dylan Raiolas they can get, but they're going to need to find the people that can look past the players that are already on the roster and understand there's going to be some role for them in some capacity. It's maybe going to include a game on a Saturday, but it may also be the role that they have to play, Monday through Friday, on the practice field. It may be something that they're pushing another guy in the weight room, in the winters and the spring. There's really it goes well beyond those 12 Saturdays that everybody's going to see in the fall. Those guys are going to have a huge role, and Daniel Kaelin is going to have that type of impact with this roster one way or another.
All right, Munson, appreciate you. As always, thanks for coming on with us every week. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and we'll talk to you in a couple weeks.
Happy holidays to you guys as well and all of your listeners. We'll talk to you soon.
That's Bryan Munson of HuskerOnline.com, working hard with the boys over on 3. A quick timeout. Brian Christopherson, speaking of working hard with the boys, got a basketball conversation with BC, and then, of course, the 2024 recruiting class as well. BC is next. Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on Unsportsmanlike Conduct.
Have dynamic divisions. You can literally do that by saying, all right, well, we're going to match up the teams that we have scheduled against each other, and they're in one division, and the other group is in the other side. Hell, you could change them every year if you wanted to, but at least you have structure of this team's going to have the best record on this side, and your tiebreakers are going to work.
Unsportsmanlike Conduct with John Bishop and Josh Peterson. Weekdays 2 to 6 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Areas of dense fog possible Friday morning. Otherwise, expect cloudy and warm conditions. Temperatures starting the day in the 40s. Clouds will continue to stick around into the afternoon. Then some late day clearing with highs around 50. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620 The Zone.
J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers, offers exterior solutions that help you protect your number one investment. Whether it's roofing and siding or windows and doors, they're committed to excellence, quality, and outstanding customer service in every step of the process. When it's time to protect the exterior of your home, your choice is simple. Turn to who the Huskers turn to, J-Tech Construction. Check them out online and schedule a free estimate today. J-Tech Construction, the official exterior experts of the Huskers.
Betting on your favorite sporting events just got a whole lot easier. Warhorse Sportsbook is now open in Omaha. Save yourself the drive across the river and put your money where your mouth is at Horseman's Park, 6303 Q Street. Use the Warhorse app to check odds and build your bets before placing your wagers in person, including live in-game betting. No bets, no glory. Wagers may only be placed on Nebraska-based teams when played outside the state of Nebraska. Must be 21 or older to gamble. Gambling problem? Call 1-833-BET-OVER.
Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. EquitableOnline.com.
You could go to point A to B, or you could go to point X. Experience the stunning new 2024 BMW X Series lineup for yourself at Onyx Automotive. The BMW X range. Your next X venture starts here. Lease the new 2024 BMW iX xDrive 50 for just $699 a month at BMW of Omaha. Online at bmwofomaha.com. See dealer for details.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Giving the food lover in your life a great gift has never been easier. Order gift cards fast and easy for Shuck's Fish House, Bailey's Breakfast and Lunch, and Absolutely Fresh Seafood Market. Online at absolutelyfresh.com and get them mailed or emailed to all your friends, family, and coworkers.
Can you feel it? It's more than the chill in the air or the excitement of the holidays. At Heart Ministry Center, we call it the attitude of gratitude. Thanks to you, we're able to provide food, health care, and a way forward to people severely affected by poverty in Omaha. With matching funds available, now's the perfect time to give. Visit heartministrycenter.org/gratitude or sign up to tour or volunteer. Heart Ministry Center, dignity for all.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope, and they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you.
Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks? Even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Start learning a new language today. Go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
Hey, Brian. Bryan Christopherson.
I gotta take this. It's Hap.
B. Rooney drove my Chevy to the levee, but the levee was dry.
Bryan Christopherson, Husker 24/7 on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
All right, we're joined now on the 42 Degrees of the Source hotline by Bryan Christopherson of Husker 24/7. That is award nominee Bryan Christopherson, I've been told.
That's right. The Happy's going on next week during our best ofs. Bryan Christopherson nominated in the most awkward moment category when Connor called him a third wheel.
How's that feel?
That's all right. That's better than the time when I was in my car and I forget what happened. Something with my house. It got on the other line or something for a few minutes. I think it happened to Robin on your show too. The same week.
Yeah, I just hooked up to the Bluetooth speaker for some reason.
Yeah, that's what it was. Right.
Yeah, I forgot about that. That happened twice in the span of 3 shows.
Yeah.
It just randomly hooked up to one of our guests' Bluetooth speaker, and I was just sitting talking to somebody at an empty room in their house. It's great. Awesome.
Yeah, and then I remember a caller after that happened was like, well, why didn't he just go into his settings quick and take it off? And I was thinking yeah, that would have been a good idea. But you know how it is, like in the moment you get panicked. You forget basic stuff sometimes, when you're on air or whatever. You probably don't because you're a seasoned veteran of having your voice on air. But for me, panic just sets in. I'm like a freshman quarterback who has thrown a couple picks. I just get a little jittery.
Whoa, are you insinuating that a freshman quarterback is going to throw picks next year?
No. That was a bad example.
Bad example.
Yeah,
Okay. Anyway, on the freshman quarterback, and really just this week in general, as you've been able to sort of pull it apart, and Rule talked about it a little bit. I guess just from the whole now that we've gobbled up the last 2 weeks as the world turns of Nebraska football, I guess what's your takeaway on how Nebraska got Dylan Raiola and now what happens next, which is probably obviously the more interesting part.
Yeah, well, first off, pretty cool deal when you have 2 Elite 11 finalist quarterbacks in one class. Sometimes you got to just go back into that first and see that doesn't happen around here. That's pretty unique. So congrats to Dylan and Daniel. Daniel, I give him a lot of props. I was at Bellevue West on Wednesday just for how he handled the whole situation, and that he's gonna come in and compete and put his head down. And I think he'll try to make things as difficult as possible as far as their decision process about what to do. So good for him for wanting to do that. I know he's got a lot of people admiring the way he handled it. And then with Raiola, I just think, you take him at his word where, a couple weeks before signing day, he says, my heart has been with Nebraska. I grew up rooting for that program. My dad played there. His name's on the wall. My uncle's coaching there. I know as great a program as Georgia is, there can be appeal to, when you're attending a basketball game last February and the entire arena is chanting your names and you just see you're needed here, these people want you, they need you to help this program. And to a competitor that has a lot of intrigue and obviously had some pull for him too. So, when it comes to next spring, I think you try to make it as much of a competition as possible if you're the coaches, even while everybody on the outside is going to assume it's going to go a certain way. But you always got to maintain that competitive structure and practices, and an understanding with your team that this is not scripted out. It's not just set like this is the way it's going to go for these years, and then after that, it doesn't work that way in football. So you got to have guys, including Dylan, understand, and I would think he does. Like, nothing's to be taken for granted here. You got to go out and earn it. And I liked a couple of the lines I heard from Dylan in interviews where he said he wants to come in and earn that respect from his teammates by putting in the work day in, day out. So that's a good starting point to just win the respect of the guys around you by how you go about your business every day. And I think he will do that. I think he's a pretty determined kid.
How much better of a picture do we have of like the general offensive vision for Nebraska now, considering that they have their quote unquote quarterback or quarterbacks of the future?
Well, I go back to last offseason. Rule would talk about, we want to run the ball, but we want to push the ball down the field too. And
Yes.
they just weren't able to do that last year with what they had with any consistency. And I think they've got receivers who are young but have the speed and traits to be able to do that, to stretch the field. And so you need a big armed guy who can put that in play. And that's where, we have to learn some things about Dylan Raiola, of course, as a college player. He hasn't done anything yet at this level or attended a class yet, but we do know from just watching him since he was 15 years old, he's got an incredibly strong arm. He can make all those throws. And so that stuff should be in play. And obviously you're playing in the middle of the country where there's tough conditions to deal with. And, I think there's something to be said for the fact that, Dylan's a big kid and he, the kind of guy who can throw it, into the wind and stuff like that. I mean, all that stuff's at play there. So I think he checks a lot of the boxes on the surface of what you want in a quarterback. It's just a matter of how quickly the game at the college level will slow down for him and Daniel and those guys who are new to this. So it always takes a little bit of time, I think, for a guy to adjust to the different type of speed.
Bryan Christopherson joining us now on the 42 Degrees The Source hotline here on the Connor Happer Show. So I love those signing day press conferences, and for this reason, obviously we get the big storylines and we spend a lot of time talking about the crown jewels of the class and that entire thing. And obviously that was dedicated to Raiola on Wednesday. You wrote about one of them, but there was a couple people that were mentioned, and I think he tried to, he obviously wants to give shout outs to everybody that they signed in the class, but there's only so much time that he has to do it. You wrote about Braylen Prude for the class and sort of the discovery story on that one. Do you have a favorite couple, guys that maybe nobody's thinking about from the class that Rule mentioned you sort of perked up a little bit on Wednesday?
Yeah, I'll start with Braylen Prude because he's definitely one of them. He's a 6'4" kid who, by the stopwatch or Rule back at the Houston camp ran a 4.42 and then came back and ran it again. And he's 185 now, so he's listed as a DB, but I think people might have picked up on this. Rule spoke about how some people look at the numbers, will be like, oh, you got like 7 or 8 DBs. Isn't that quite a bit? And his answer would be, well, they're kind of DBs. Like we see some of these guys who could probably be moved around, and maybe somebody who's a DB today at some point in his career is going to be rushing the passer. Braylen Prude is who you might use as an example of that because he's got a frame where he could get up to like 215 pretty quickly, I think, and he could have basically that same stature that Javen Wright has. And so that's pretty appealing. They really go by their height, weight, speed traits with certain guys. Like Roger Gradney's a guy that I don't know that everybody talks about, but I think this staff really loves him. Donovan Jones locally. I think you've seen him play in person, and he just makes stuff happen. Like he's a really gifted athlete, and I give Rule staff credit on this because they listened to you. People heard at the beginning of that press conference, he shouted out guys like Steve Warren and Abdul Muhammad and Damon Benning and some of these guys locally who know, a lot of the players in the state and they've known some of them since they're 5 or 6 years old, and they can give insights like, you should really take a look at this kid. I think this staff really pays attention to that. They did in the case of Donovan Jones, and it helps Nebraska look at them in June at those camps and extend offers before like Iowa or somebody comes in and gets in the player's head like, oh, maybe they were the first to really come at me, maybe I'll go that way. And so Nebraska did a good job this cycle in state, and especially in that Omaha area, I think, putting their boots back on the ground there, because I feel like Omaha had been too wide open in past classes for other teams to come in, and maybe Nebraska is trying to put a stop to that a bit.
I'm glad you mentioned that too. I think it was 6-7 minutes at the beginning of the press conference where he was just sort of thanking people that were involved. And when he says that stuff, it's not. I don't think it's lip service. I don't think it's just like, yeah, thank you. We got all these people who really want to make the program better, and that's certainly the truth. But he has this way of sort of taking all the information in, listening to people, building relationships with people, but also it's not like he's not in charge. He is. He can take that information and make the decisions based on it because he's built these relationships with people, and it's not like he's gonna hurt somebody's feelings if he says no. Like it still all comes back to him at the end of the day.
Right. I think he has people that see these young kids that respect now that the Nebraska head coach is at least listening to them, right? Like if they pass on an idea or insight about a certain player, it's not just going in and out, it's something that they're going to actually think about. And you saw that with several of the kids in this class. So, I think that really matters. There's some important resources in the state. I just named a few of them, but there's several people who, they know some of these really good athletes when they've known them since they were 5, but they see them when they're like 14, 15 years old. And when they say, hey, just take a look at this kid, look, give him some time at the camp, see what you think of him. That can mean a lot. Yeah. We saw in this class, June is going to be a super important month for Husker football around here, because they are going to try to gain an advantage over the opposition by having those camps where they actually have their head coach and all their coaches right on the ground, and are giving a full look at these kids who come in and looking for, maybe it's a camp with 200 kids, but there's one special athlete out of it that you pick out, and the day's work was worth it then if you find that guy. And so, it's the same thing he said about recruiting Texas. Like, yes, I think he pointed out some people like to airport recruit Texas. They fly into DFW, you go 40 minutes around the circle of DFW, and that's it. He doesn't want his staff to be like that. So he wants them to really find those kids that are outside that area in Texas, whether it's in camps or whatever, and put the work in. And you find a Roger Gradney, you find a Braylon Prude, and hopefully that gets you those couple extra guys that another program didn't get, that can put you over the hump. Those are all the things you're trying to add up to equal success here. BC,
I guess we'll get a quick thought on basketball here. Disaster averted the other night, and now a week plus off for Christmas, and then one more non-con bye game, and then it's conference play. Where do you think Nebraska basketball is at right now?
I mean, I like where they're at when they're full strength. I'm worried about the rink situation only because I think he'll be back soon, but if soon means missing like Indiana and Wisconsin, they play January 3rd against Indiana. They play Wisconsin 3 days after that, and Purdue 3 days after that. So it's 3 games from January 3rd to the 9th. And that's going to be the big question, is like how fast rink heals. You don't want to push him too quickly, but also it's just not quite the same when he's not on the floor. We're fine. They were able to get the win last night, and that's okay. It's a game you can just move on from, and it doesn't end up damaging you at all. But it is tough without Ring. So I'm hoping he gets back soon. And it's just a matter of when that is.
BC, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year. Appreciate you always coming on with us, and we will talk to you in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I hope I win that award, even if it's sort of embarrassing for me. I'll take any award I can get.
Yeah, we'll let you know. We'll send you a plaque or some sort of certificate.
All right. Yes, please do. Thanks, guys. Merry Christmas.
Bryan Christopherson of Husker 24/7.
He is up against me vomiting in the studio.
That's going to be a tough hang, probably.
Yeah,
that was kind of built to win an award.
Dominant in its field, I imagine. But
you never know.
It'll be up on a poll question on our website, 1620thezone.com, a very fine website. And while you're there, smash that subscribe button for the email.
Look at you, Josh.
Yeah.
Good job.
I've gone corporate.
I've gone corporate. I was glad that just that last football part with BC talking about sort of all the people that had to do with the class and the thanks, but it's not just, like I said, it's not just lip service. He has this certain way of gathering all the information, building relationships with people, talking to people, and then because he has the relationships with people, he has the ability to tell them, like, come on, you're crazy. No, like, we're not going to do that. Or yes, great. And people feel entrusted with their relationship to him that they can send a kid his way and stuff like that. It's important.
He gets it. He's an adult. He's mostly genuine, like as much as a college football head coach can be.
And that last part too about airport recruiting, he said, I believe the line was something along the lines of, Huddle kind of screwed us.
Yeah.
Because it just makes it so much easier for everybody. And we used to have an advantage there because we work so hard. Like our staff used to have an advantage there because we work so hard and they still do. But I thought, excuse me, that part was interesting as well. All right, Josh, the final odd news of 2023.
Wow.
Next
upon us
on 1620 The Zone.
The best way to catch all the action is on 1620 The Zone. And no line for the bathroom.
Ready to change your phone service? You got to check out Boost Infinite Wireless at boostinfinite.com. You get their low-priced service and a brand new iPhone every year. And Boost Infinite's new technology gives you 3 networks for the price of 1. So you get the best quality calls and data anywhere you are. No one can do that except Boost. Switch today at boostinfinite.com or call 855-55-BOOST. See boostinfinite.com for terms and conditions.
At Dingman's, we are working for you before you even walk through our doors. Our level of commitment to industry involvement and continuing education is second to none. Through our ongoing involvement, we stay current with all the best repair procedures for the ever-changing vehicle. This includes working with auto and paint manufacturers, as well as insurance companies. Our repair facilities are set up with the latest repair and technology. Our ongoing work is to ensure that when you do need us, we are able to provide you with the safest, best repair possible. Because at Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Dingmans.com.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Williamsburg Pizza has an amazing rewards program, but why should you join? Well, discounts, free pizza, it's those things and more. You can use your rewards anytime. No punch cards. Just earn your rewards and redeem them however you choose. Save up for larger discounts or use them for smaller discounts along the way. They even deliver. Williamsburg Pizza. Made fresh, made delicious, made for you. How it should be. Southwest corner of 168th and Harrison next to Jimmy John's or at williamsburgpizza.com.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands. at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Record inflation. Even with the holidays right around the corner, it's still hammering the budgets of families in need all around the Omaha Metro. Help make Christmas happen for them by giving to the Salvation Army. When you donate, you keep the lights and heat on, put food on the table, and put presents under the tree for families that need it most. Join our effort to love beyond Christmas. Give to the Salvation Army now at omaharedkettle.org. That's omaharedkettle.org.
Staples is serious about gaming. And right now, during Staples Holiday Deals, we're even serious. Like this week at Staples, save $50 on the Xbox Series S with 3-month Game Pass Ultimate Bundle, now just $249.99. Save serious money on gaming with $50 off the Xbox Series S game system today during Staples Holiday Deals. Xbox offer available online in select stores only. While supplies last. Limit 1 ends 12/23.
And now we've reached the point in the show where Josh Odson reads the peculiar, the bizarre, the comical, the odd news with Odd Son. Odd news, Odd Son. See what we did there? The odd news with Oddson.
All right, Josh, here we go. Odd news.
This is it.
Let's do it.
Last one of the year.
It's all 2023 has to offer for us.
You said you didn't watch any of the Boca Raton Bowl last night.
Nothing.
I'm sad to hear that because
not a single second.
Our first story comes from the Boca Raton Bowl, where USF beat Syracuse 45-0. Matt Berry and Dan Mullen were on the call for ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
It was 31-0 at halftime. So there was some time to kill in the second half of this game.
Uh-huh.
And if you've ever watched or heard Matt Berry talk, likes to joke around.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
Yeah. They discussed all of his grievances with Love Actually, the hit Christmas movie.
Come on.
Discussed the new season of The Crown.
Okay.
They ranked Christmas movies.
Sounds like a fun broadcast.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do, man.
Mm-hmm. Debated whether or not Die Hard was a Christmas movie. They basically conducted a podcast during a football broadcast.
Imagine if Nebraska was playing in that game one way or the other. Just how many people would start tweeting at Matt Berry.
It's all we would be talking about today is the nerve.
Yeah. But it's the Boca Raton Bowl, and it's with two programs who don't care about football, with the exception of Syracuse starting now. Last night, not so much.
Now
Today,
well, I mean, they got that hibachi guy.
They got hibachi. It's big time.
There's just something about a man and hibachi.
But yeah, they didn't have any of their team. They didn't have any of their coaching staff, so they lost 45-0 last night at the Boca Raton Bowl. And guess what? It doesn't matter.
It doesn't. Not at all.
I wish it mattered, but it doesn't.
No. Let's go to Denver for story number 2.
I love Denver. Is it the airport?
It is not. It is the zoo.
The zoo.
The Denver Zoo announced an answer to its recent orangutan paternity mystery with the help of an expert in the field, Maury Povich.
Hell yes. They brought in Maury Povich to announce whose orangutan it was.
The 84-year-old former daytime talk show host.
Jeez.
He did that job for 31 years. He's obviously most famous for his shows about paternity tests, screaming, "You are the father," or "You are not the father."
Yeah, you are not the father.
Oh! The Denver Zoo posted a video to Facebook showing Maury bringing an end to the mystery of which of the zoo's male orangutans, 30-year-old Barani or 16-year-old Jaya, fathered 4-month-old Siska. Fresh off receiving the Daytime Emmy's Lifetime Achievement Honor, Maury Povich is here to help us announce the results, the Post said. The video shows Povich dressed in a tuxedo, opening a manila envelope, and saying the following: when it comes to the orangutan, 4-month-old Siska, Bernai, you are the father.
That is so awesome. What a great bit by the Denver Zoo.
Yes.
Great job by them.
What do you think that pitch meeting was like? Like, hey, guys, I got an idea.
I bet Maury came out for free.
Yeah.
I bet Maury was just like, you know what? I want to just do this again. Right?
I just want to open an envelope again. Get back to my roots.
Now, did they produce it like a Maury show bit? Like they zoom in on the orangutan who was the father and they start chasing it around with the camera after it leaves the room?
That's a good question. I've not watched
I'd like to
video.
I'm going to watch the video.
All right.
Here.
Denver Zoo on Facebook. I'm sure it is several other websites have aggregated it.
Denver Zoo Maury. That's only 38 seconds long.
Oh, good.
It's good. I got to watch an ad from the Today Show first.
Oh, sure.
Of course. But he didn't actually go.
Oh,
he's
okay.
he's in a hotel room or somewhere. And
here.
You are the father. Everybody says,
Now,
yay.
We want to thank the Denver Zoo for everything they do. But this is really important. When it comes to the orangutan, 4-month-old Siska, Barani.
It could not have.
You are the father.
There we go. Great job.
Good bit.
Great
Good
job
bit.
by the Denver
Yeah,
Zoo.
yeah.
No notes. Except for they could have brought him in. That would have been nice.
It would have been nice. Yeah, it would have cost more.
Yep.
Gosh, I wonder if they just paid for a cameo.
It's possible.
Do you think people ask him to do that?
Do you think
Be a cameo?
Do you think we should call up Maury Povich and have him settle a debate at some point or something like that? When it comes to something, you, Josh Hodson, are wrong.
Oh. When it comes to J.J. Watt's viability as a Hall of Famer.
When it comes to loving a changing of the guard, Josh Hodson, you are the haver of that tape.
Yes! Didn't even know it. You realize things about yourself when you do a radio show.
That's right. With your best friend.
That's right. Finally, one of our other bits that we do on this show is where I sit here and deliver the truth to you, the audience who doesn't want to hear it. And I tell you that Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift are in a sham story relationship.
Enough.
Well,
let it go.
The
Christmas is Monday.
I know.
You're toast.
No.
They're going to be together.
The Chiefs have a game.
They're going to kiss under the mistletoe.
The couple are nowhere near the baby making stage of their relationship.
How do you know?
I'm just going to assume. But that doesn't mean that others aren't. A rep for babynames.com, one of the premier destinations for digital baby name sifting, tells TMZ that the names Taylor and Travis have skyrocketed on their website, jumping 25% in the last 45 days, attributing this jump to what they call the Tavis phenomenon that has consumed pop culture.
So do you tell your kid 20 years later, it's like, oh yeah, by the way, we named you Travis because at the time Travis Kelce was dating Taylor Swift and we just decided that was cool and that was our best option at the time. So that's why your name's Travis.
Well,
because that's kind of weird. I wouldn't want to be named after a cultural phenomenon that took over 4 months of our lives.
You would have to be a Chiefs fan and a Swiftie, right? You couldn't.
I mean, you could just name a kid Taylor.
You couldn't just be a Swiftie and have a boy and be like, well, Travis was a thing once.
No, I mean, that's the whole deal with Swifties. They're like blindly into whatever Taylor's into, So they love Travis.
Careful.
They do. Am I wrong about this? They love Taylor Swift so much. They're such a big part of her. Well, they're not big part of her life probably, but she is such a big part of their lives.
There it is. That's better.
That they understand everything that she's doing and everything that she's thinking and her emotions and what she loves. And she clearly loves Travis Kelce. So if you're a real big Swiftie and you got a kid coming, why not name it Travis? This seems like the one that's going to stick.
I'm going to tell you all not to name your children out of anyone in that relationship, because you will look like a fool in a year when they're not together anymore. Remember when kids were being named after the kids from Twilight?
Oh, Edward and Jacob?
Yeah. And the girl, what was the girl's name?
Yeah, but the thing is, like, these are normal names. You could just, like, get away. You just be like, I don't know. I just like the name Edward.
Bella?
Was
there a Bella?
Bella. Definitely. That was the girl. That was, what's her name?
Kristen Stewart.
Knew
the actress's name.
There was definitely a moment in time that was Kristen Stewart time. It's not that time anymore, though.
No, it's not.
What a weird time that was.
Very weird.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
Well, at the end of the show, I mean, you'll have to say your last words because this is it. You will be wrong about that. You understand that, right?
I don't think I will be.
You think they'll be broken up by Monday?
I said they will not be together at Christmas. I didn't say anything about the relationship fraying in any way.
No, we're not doing that.
They will not.
We're not doing loopholes
together.
No, we're not doing loopholes. You know what you meant.
I know what I said, which is purposeful.
No,
because in 2024 we're going to talk about how words matter a lot, and
we got lawyers upstairs. I'm going to take this up to them and see.
Please, nobody is up there that is sober right now.
All right, thank you, Josh.
Thank you, Connor.
That's the odd news. We'll come back the noon hour. We'll get back to our show that's produced by you.
Yeah.
Next on 1620 The Zone.
I'm a fabulous driver.
The Connor Happer Show
I'm one of the best friends you could ever have in your life.
on 1620 The Zone.
I hate you.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Hey everybody, it's Michael Severe. Happy holidays from 10 Wallies. The folks over at 10 Wallies want to wish you an extremely happy holidays. It's such a busy time all year. It's a time to settle down with your family, with your friends, and do what? Get together and gather, sure, but also have some ice cream along. Whether you have a cake or you have a pie or you just want to eat ice cream with some whipped cream, whatever you're going to do, you get it from 10 Wallies. Over 3,000 flavors. You can find every day the specials on social media. Check them out today and get some ice cream for the holiday.
Email unsportsmanlike conduct on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox with whatever is on your mind, from your hot takes to what you think is one. The Zone inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone inbox.
The Zone hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Hey folks, Kent Pavelka again to tell you about your local concrete experts at Everlevel Concrete Repair. Now, if you have cracked, uneven concrete, Everlevel can fix it at a fraction of the cost compared to replacement. This is no Band-Aid. Their products are built to last. It gives your concrete the durable protection it needs, and there's still time. I chose Everlevel for my driveway, and I've got peace of mind with their long-term transferable warranty. Everlevel's products and customer service are top-notch, and that's why they've been voted Best of Omaha again this year. Say it with me. Everlevel, Everlevel, Everlevel.
I have diabetes. I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
I have asthma. I'm at risk too.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine, a Pfizer vaccine that can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. Nebraska needs you. There is hope, and the Lifeline works.
Attention sales professionals. NRG Media is looking for an accomplished business-to-business salesperson who wants to take their success and skills to a new level. Is this you? Our account executives work with local businesses to create marketing plans to help them get more customers. On air, digital, on-site, audio, video, it's all part of what you could sell. A sales career with NRG lets you make a real difference. Get more info and apply online at nrgmedia.com. NRG Media is an equal opportunity employer.
DJ's Dugout Sports Bar is proud to support Creighton Athletics, and DJ's is the official watch party sports bar of Creighton basketball. Nick Hanley here for my friends at DJ's. Watch Creighton basketball on DJ's huge TV walls at 7 metro locations. Plus, enjoy delicious food and a Blue Jay lemonade cocktail, of course. It's an Omaha tradition. Cheer for the Jays at DJ's. Voted Omaha's #1 sports bar locally in Vietnam, veteran-owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
Voice of all. Josh, do we have a plan for the... Are we going to do a top 5 today?
We are, yes.
What's it? Give me a little something.
It is going to be the top 5 poll questions of the year regarding Husker football in some way.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I like that.
So anything we asked about Nebraska athletics, I guess.
We will do that at the end of the hour. Quickly, I wanted to get back to the show produced by you in just 1 second. I have a couple topics that I wanted to get off my chest before we do that.
Okay.
We'll get back to your topics. So, first of all, number one, we could spend a couple minutes on this. I cannot get enough of the Tiger Woods big dog memes. I love them all.
I've seen it a bunch the last 24 hours.
All your Tiger Woods big dog memes. I love those. I saw a whole thread of them last night, and I couldn't stop scrolling. Here's an example. So if people don't know what I'm talking about, they're probably like, what's going on?
The base image is up on 1620 The Zone TV right now.
Is it? Oh, yes, Josh, nice job. Big dog right there. So that's what happens basically when you see somebody and you don't know their name. Then you just say, big dog.
Big dog.
Meet my Uber driver at 2:30 a.m. on a Tuesday. Big dog. Me dapping up people from high school and college whose name I no longer remember. Me dapping up my boss before he gives me the worst year-end review in company history. Me trying to diffuse a situation at a bar that my very drunk friends started with a group of large individuals. Me meeting Clifford. That one's kind of
because he's a big dog.
That one's kind of literal.
Big red dog.
Yep. Meeting the Home Depot employee when they say drill bits are in aisle 16, bottom left, end of the row. Big dog. Anyway, I love those. Please send me those if you see any more. Second thing, this one's about Husker football. So I want to go back to a quote from Matt Rule the other day, and it revolves around this crazy thing that people have just dove into around here the last couple of days, and that would be Casey Thompson. Casey Thompson entered the portal yesterday, and people were like, oh, here it is. Here it comes. It really seems like a no. Randy Jackson from American Idol. It's going to be a no for me, dog.
Sure.
And that's not because I wouldn't like the safety net of having Casey Thompson. I think that would be fine. I just think that he's not going to start next year, and you got to kind of start the future right now with Dylan Raiola. And I think there's evidence to this actually being the case, this being the truth with Nebraska football right now. And here's the quote from Matt Rule at the press conference the other day. Quote, obviously, the Dylan thing happened. It was really honest and transparent. The Dylon thing happened. In terms of transfer players and things like that, and at the time, remember, he's talking about McCord because McCord was on campus. In terms of transfer players and things like that, sometimes you have to have difficult conversations. Sometimes the narrative out there is different than what actually is happening, and that could be difficult. None of these young men ran from competition. No one said, I don't want to go there. Some people were asking me that, and I felt bad about it. Really, at the end of the day, we made a decision. We were going to go young. We're going to go with the guys that we have and the two freshmen and build. I don't mind disappointing people. I hate it, but I don't want anyone to ever say I lied to you. I try to be honest, and I say, here's how we see it. Sometimes people disagree with it. It's hard at quarterback because only one can play. I mean, there it is, right?
Dylon.
If you think they're taking another quarterback who's older and they're going to delay sort of moving into the future by another year with Dylan Raiola on campus, he just told you that you're wrong. It's not happening. They're not taking Casey Thompson. There's no room for Casey Thompson on this roster. Would Nebraska have taken Kyle McCord, continued to go down that road, had they not gotten Dylan Raiola or gotten word that they were going to get Dylan Raiola? By the way, it shows you how much. So flashback to 2 Mondays ago now. What day was it? The 11th, right? When all this Dylan thing kind of dropped right in the afternoon. Kyle McCord was here. I think everybody was kind of like, whoa, this door is open again. Well, it turned out the door wasn't just open for Dylan Raiola. He had already walked through it. They told him. He had told him. He's like, I want to come there. And then the visit happened the weekend of the 15th, 16th, 17th. And that was just, having a good weekend, it seemed like.
Saturday night at Ainsworth.
And so McCord's on campus on the 11th, and the Dylon thing drops. And it's just like, yeah, okay, we got our decision. It's done. And it's not you. Now, so why in the world would it be Casey Thompson? If it wasn't Kyle McCord and the situation's still the same, you just replace Kyle McCord with Casey Thompson, then why would it be Casey Thompson? Right? Kyle McCord's better than Casey Thompson.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't think that's happening for a variety of different reasons. And the most notable one is they want to move this thing forward. They want to move it in the future. Now, if Dylon wasn't coming, then they would have taken Kyle McCord, and they would have tried to piece together the room after that, and they would have taken Kalen, and they would have redshirted him and got him ready for the future, and maybe he's a starting quarterback next year, or you reevaluate your options after next season. But Nebraska has their answer for 23, 24, 25 at least right now, and he gets on campus in 2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So, like, that's the direction that they're going. And so it doesn't, like, how are you going to convince a 7th-year quarterback to come in and be the backup?
Hey, you got 1 year left.
And one question, like, do you even want that, considering, especially it being Casey Thompson, does he become, even if he's not guaranteed a starting spot, even if he's not the starting quarterback, and even if he does come under the pretense that he is the backup quarterback, does Casey Thompson become some sort of a distraction during the year? By none of his fault, but just by the fact that he's 37 years old and your starting quarterback who's 12 is going to make some mistakes next year. And you're like, well, come on, we got this guy right here and just go. Like, no, we're not going to have that question next year.
Mm-hmm.
So it kind of does become that they have made their bed. He's a good guy to make the bed with. Good guy to make the bed with. You get a five-star quarterback. Have you seen him throw the football? It's really cool. He throws that thing easy. So that's what they're doing. And it's not going to be Casey Thompson. All right, back to your topics on the other side on 1620 The Zone.
Previously on the crossover.
I want to hear the thank you at the end of it, too.
No, thank you.
No, thank you. When you order a Big Mac at McDonald's.
No, thank you.
Thank you, caller Connor.
Good job, Connor. No, thank you.
Maybe it was Connor Stallion. No, it could have been.
Mornings with Sharp and Hanley. The Connor Happer Show. Unsportsmanlike conduct. 6A to 6P. 1620. The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV Newswatch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Areas of dense fog possible Friday morning. Otherwise, expect cloudy and warm conditions. Temperature starting the day in the 40s. Clouds will continue to stick around into the afternoon. Then some late day clearing with highs around 50. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV Newswatch 7.
It may not be chestnuts, but Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you. Thank you to everyone who chose to make Host Coffee and the services we provide part of your business in 2023. Happy holidays from Host Coffee, Omaha's best coffee since 1972.
Since 1935, businesses all around Omaha have trusted one sign company with their visual branding, SignWorks. We design, manufacture, and install signs of all kinds, including high-tech message centers like the new installation at Steelhouse Omaha. We can make your sign too. SignWorksOmaha.com.
Hey, everybody, it's Michael Severe. Happy holidays from 10 Wallies. The folks over at 10 Wallies want to wish you an extremely happy holidays. It's such a busy time all year. It's a time to settle down with your family, with your friends, and do what? Get together and gather, sure, but also have some ice cream along. Whether you have a cake or you have a pie or you just want to eat ice cream with some whipped cream, whatever you're going to do, you get it from 10 Wallies. Over 3,000 flavors. You can find every day the specials on social media. Check them out today and get some ice cream for the holiday.
Looking for a pure electric vehicle that does 0 to 60 in less than 5 seconds? The eyes have it. The BMW i-Line. 100% electric, 100% sports car, 110% BMW. The BMW i-Line, the electric vehicle that takes you farther than you could ever imagine. Right now, lease a new BMW i4 eDrive 35 for $499 a month at BMW of Omaha. Online at bmwofomaha.com. See dealer for details.
At Dingman's, we are working for you before you even walk through our doors. Our level of commitment to industry involvement and continuing education is second to none. Through our ongoing involvement, we stay current with all the best repair procedures for the ever-changing vehicle. This includes working with auto and paint manufacturers, as well as insurance companies. Our repair facilities are set up with the latest repair and technology. Our ongoing work is to ensure that when you do need us, we are able to provide you with the safest, best repair possible. Because at Dingman's, we would rather be the best than apologize for anything less. Dingmans.com.
Discover, this is Daniela.
Hi, it's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to thank you for making me feel so special. I earned cash back on debit for my dinner party groceries.
That's great. But with Discover Cashback Debit, we give everyone cash back on everyday purchases. Anything else I can help you with?
Do you like asparagus and mushroom sorbet? I've got leftovers.
Introducing Discover Cashback Debit, a checking account with cash back. It pays to Discover. Eligibility and terms at discover.com/cashback debit. Discover Bank, member FDIC.
Every Friday, we bring you discounts to some of your favorite businesses in the Metro. Now, we bring you deals every weekend, too. Welcome to OmahaWeekendDeals.com. This weekend's deal is Ramona's Mexican Restaurant. Ramona's Mexican Restaurant is a North Omaha original on North 30th Street. Everything you loved about Ramona's is still the way you remember. Nachos, the works, the popular deep-fried burrito, that beast of a cheeseburger, and don't forget those cinnamon chips. Head to OmahaWeekendDeals.com to get yours.
What's holding you back from learning the language you've always wanted to know?
Too hard.
Takes too long.
Not with Babbel. Babbel's lessons take just 15 minutes a day.
15 minutes isn't long.
Nope. And they're fun.
Fun isn't hard.
Right. Babbel's interactive lessons, podcasts, games, and more make it fun and engaging, so you don't realize you're learning a language, but you are. And Babbel's lessons are built around real life. You can choose from topics like travel, business, relationships, and more. You'll learn what matters most to you. Plus, Babbel's lessons are designed to get you speaking right away. In 3 weeks, you're able to start having conversations.
Just 3 weeks? even better.
Since Babbel's lessons are designed by language experts and voiced by real native speakers, you'll get the accents just right and be able to carry on conversations with confidence.
Learning a language with Babbel doesn't take long.
And with Babbel, it isn't hard.
It's perfect.
Start learning a new language today. Go to Babbel.com. That's Babbel.com. Babbel.com.
The venue's set. Families coming in from all over. It's our quinceañera. With all the excitement, it may be easy to overlook COVID-19. It's still a risk, and that's why it's muy importante to get this season's COVID-19 shot ahead of time. It helps protect against COVID-19, which can cause severe illness and hospitalization. So let's set the date, vaccinate, and celebrate. Learn about a vaccine option and book this season's updated COVID-19 shot today at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Here comes the clown.
All right, earlier this morning, I asked you guys to produce the radio show for us.
Great idea.
And you have come through. As you do earlier in the show, we debated the boundaries of downtown Omaha and then sub-debated the merits of the Woodman Tower.
Great conversation. I'm glad we're having it.
And now we have these from the thread this morning. It's from Kevin Suits in Lincoln, 1011.
Oh, okay.
Rank the days of the year, all 365 of them.
Okay, number 365 is
January 6th.
Okay.
Just wanted to get out in front of that one.
364's got to be when you return to work in January.
I
right?
think so. Now everyone could say like my birthday or Thanksgiving, but what we're looking for is the actual dates.
Okay.
The actual dates. So maybe we could just use 2023 as an example. What was the best day of 2023?
The day Nebraska got Dylan Raiola.
Was it just this week?
I don't know.
Jeez, it may have. I mean, it may have been.
That was the best thing to happen to Nebraska this year, right?
Depending on where your priorities lie, it could have been. Was it when Creighton beat Princeton and went to the Elite Eight? Could that have been your best day of the year?
People forget.
Could it have been the day that we all went and saw Cocaine Bear?
That was a fun day.
February 23rd, 2023. That was.
Super Bowl is always very high. Remember when we disrespected the Chiefs by unanimously picking them to win the Super Bowl here at 1620 The Zone?
Yep. They still felt disrespected afterwards. Let's see. Could it have been any day during the summer? What about our mega birthday party this year?
Always a fun day for us.
That would have been May 26th.
I don't know how great it sounds on air or podcast.
Okay. Could it have been the day for me that I ate all those oysters, which was in early June of
Do you
this
just
year?
have these things logged in your iPhone?
I am looking at my calendar right now.
I can tell you're looking at something.
Yeah. And so I'm just looking at all the things that popped out. Here's one that came on from July 23rd. If College World Series Championship Series is LSU versus Wake Forest, Josh owes me $5.
I did not.
Nope, because it was...
The bracket was not set up that way.
Not LSU and Wake Forest, sadly, but it really probably should have been.
Those were the two best teams, and that was one of, if not the best game I've ever seen.
Was it volleyball day in Nebraska?
A fun one. We love Scotty McCreary.
Was it the night before when it was the Zach Bryan concert? Was it the day after when it was our roundtable at Oscars?
Oh, wow.
Getting ready for the season, and Nebraska opened up their season against Minnesota. It probably could not have been that day.
We hosted Big Red Overreaction together, Connor.
We did.
What a long day for us.
What game was that? Which game was that?
Minnesota.
It was the Minnesota game. Yeah. August 31st. That was a long day. Was it Croctoberfest here at work?
It was not.
All right. It was October 27th, in case you were wondering. Was it Thanksgiving? Was it Stuff the Truck?
A good day, a very good day.
Or is the best day yet to come still in the next week? Maybe Christmas is the best day of the year. Those are some options. Thank you for the question, Kevin. It's appreciated. David says this.
Hi, David.
I would talk about why high school or college all area / conference / state football lists don't include long snappers. We call out specific positions like quarterback, running backs, kickers, and punters. Aren't long snappers just as important? The NFL Pro Bowl includes long snappers. Why don't we have the best long snappers in regular college football in the NFL?
Great take. I love it.
I guess here's kind of why. Are there bad long snappers?
Yeah.
And I know there are bad long snaps. But now in high school, there are definitely bad long snappers. But in college, in the NFL, are there bad long snappers? I figure just once you snap one over somebody's head in the NFL, you're just done. They just send you home, right? Because they got a guy who could hit, 150 out of 150 if he wanted to. Those things are zipping back there too. I know there's art to it. I'm not trying to diminish the art of long snapping here, but I think the difficulty is there is not much of a difference between the very, very top of the long snapping community and the very, very bottom of the long snapping community. Like in the NFL, if you ranked all 32 long snappers in the NFL, there'd be virtually no difference between number 1 and number 32. Right? They all go straight to the punter. They all go straight to the holder's hands.
Yeah, you very rarely see that happen in the NFL. It happened a couple weeks ago for the Titans, and they fired their special teams coach like the second the clock hit 0.
Yeah. It's pretty much what happens. So, while I'd love to, give more pub to those guys, it just seems really, really difficult.
I don't pay for Pro Football Focus, so I don't think I can access their rankings.
I wonder if Pro Football Focus has one.
I mean, they have to. They rank the players. I mean, you always see it on the bottom of Sunday Night Football introductions.
Do they have
someone has to be at the bottom of the ranking?
Amazon AWS advanced stats on long snappers. Gosh, I'd like to see it, honestly. Platcat has a few.
Hi, Platcat.
A, the WNBA. B, meat slicers. C, is there negative bias towards Stanford when voting on award/player honors?
Are these the 3 things we're supposed to discuss?
Those are Platcat's topics.
Okay.
Yes. Josh, WNBA.
It's the off season.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
When's the draft?
I'm going to guess April.
Probably after the college season ends. That would make a lot of sense.
Yeah.
I hope
it is in April.
I hope there's maybe some local people drafted in the WNBA draft.
I think you'll probably see they're really pushing Caitlin Clark to go pro as quick as possible.
Yeah.
I don't know that Caitlin feels that way.
Well, she's making a lot of money.
She is.
Meat slicers, pro. Very good, as always. And I don't know what the Stanford thing even is about. Is there a negative bias towards Stanford players when voting on honors and all conference awards?
So are you essentially
they're too smart to be good?
Don't let me put words in your mouth here, Platcat. If this is not what you're saying, Christian McCaffrey did not win the Heisman because he's white.
Oh, that's what we're doing?
I don't know.
I figured we were doing it on a more micro scale than that. Like, why don't Stanford players make all conference or something like that? I don't know. Or like, or maybe they go into, when they go into the professional ranks, it's like, how good really are they? Also, do we really want to draft this person because they could just quit football tomorrow and be a rocket scientist?
Okay.
If they want to. Maybe.
Exception that proves the rule is obviously Tiger Woods.
Stanford guy.
People forget.
There's a lot of Stanford people who have gone professional in something that is sports. So maybe. I need more context on that one, Platcat. All right, we're back with Sipple. Still have more time for you guys. Coming up on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Big names, big games. We've got them all. 1620 The Zone.
If you or someone you know is having thoughts of suicide or experiencing a mental health or substance use crisis, 988 provides direct connection to free, confidential, and compassionate support. When you call, text, or chat 988, you'll be connected to trained crisis counselors who will listen to your concerns, provide support, and connect you to additional resources if needed. Nebraska needs you. There is hope, and the Lifeline works.
Good boy. At Cox, we think all customers deserve a reliable connection. So whether you're a loyal customer who's been with us for years, or you're new to the family like this little guy, you'll get the same great deals on the same great internet. And no matter who you are. See how you can save at cox.com/deals for all. Other restrictions apply, all rates reserved.
Hi, this is Doug Nodgard with Equitable Bank. Great service never goes out of style. When the digital age dawned, many said computers would be able to handle many of the interactions that used to take a person. Boy, were they wrong. How many times have you called your bank and gotten a recording to press 1 or 2? Not at Equitable. Not only does Equitable answer your call in the first ring, it's answered by a human being. That's because Equitable Bank values its customers. Equitable Bank, we take banking personally. Member FDIC.
Creighton Sports Update. Hey, Blue Jay fans, it's basketball season here at Creighton. So get your tickets and come out and support your Blue Jays. For tickets, go to Ticketmaster.com, go Creighton.com/tickets, or visit the ticket office located at Ryan Athletic Center. And that's your Creighton Sports Update.
1620 The Zone proudly supports Creighton Athletics.
Make the right call, fans. The Rooferees at John Higgins Weather Guard.
Rooferees. The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
Happy holidays from your friends at DJ's Dugout. Nick Handley here. DJ's is truly an Omaha tradition to gather with family and friends during the holidays to watch sports, enjoy delicious food, and have a great time. And a DJ's gift card is a great holiday gift idea, too. Thank you for voting DJ's your #1 sports bar again this year in the Best of Omaha Awards. DJ's Dugout is locally and Vietnam veteran-owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
All right, so we were told this morning, but I guess Sipple came on the morning show, but we were told that he needed to charge his phone. So I texted him. He said he was working on it. He was charging his phone. And you got through. His phone did ring.
Yes.
And yet nobody answered.
Was there what? Maybe he's breaking a story.
Maybe he's breaking a story. This feels like a time that's just bubbling for breaking news.
That Friday before Christmas news dump?
Yeah.
This could be the dumpiest day for a news dump ever.
So, by the way, I asked my wife when I was asking people on Twitter, hey, what should we talk about today? And I asked that to the people, and she said, oh, really? Okay, can I have one for you? And she recommended this. And I hadn't heard about this until she said it. Simone Biles' husband, Jonathan Owens, says he's the catch in their relationship. Jonathan Owens plays safety for the Green Bay Packers, and he claims on a recent podcast called The Pivot that when he started his romance with his now wife, Simone Biles, a very famous person, he'd never heard of her.
Bad take.
And she slid into his DMs.
Whoa.
And that he is the catch. Quote, I'm like, let me see who this is. I never really paid attention to gymnastics, recalling when Biles popped up on Raya back in 20. Is that an app? Is that an app?
That's the celebrity dating app.
Who does this guy think he is?
He's an NFL player.
He can't go on the celebrity dating app.
I mean, he can't go on Tinder.
Why not?
What if you saw an NFL player on Tinder?
I'd probably swipe yes. Just like everybody else.
No way.
You'd swipe no?
No, he can't be hooking up with normies.
What are you talking about? He was apparently. He thought Simone Biles was one of them.
No, because if you're on Raya, you know everyone coming at you is a celebrity.
But
or someone.
I'd never heard of the guy.
well-to-do.
Who's Jonathan Owens?
Oh,
who cares that he plays for the Packers?
He has the hubris to be an NFL player. Of course he thinks he's the catch.
I can't believe this quote. I'm like, let me see who this is. I never really paid attention to gymnastics. So it piqued my curiosity. He was like, who's this person? Oh, it turns out she's won 4 Olympic gold medals, and she's one of the most famous woman athletes in the world.
Kelsey chiming in on the YouTube chat.
Hi, Kelsey, on the YouTube chat.
Jason Kelsey, no relation, met his wife on Tinder.
Yeah, normal. And she's great. People love her. I forget her name.
That's how much they love her.
I forgot it. I was going to say Kelsey, but that's not right.
No, I hope that's not right.
Kelsey, whatever her name is. Kylie. That's it. Quote, when she won the Olympics, I was in college and we didn't have NBC. Just like Nick and BTN.
What?
We didn't have Olympics channels, and we were in training camp in late July and early August. So I wasn't paying attention. I never had a moment where I watched her perform. I never watched her gymnastic, says Owens, who is clearly full of himself.
My BS meter is
I don't believe
right
anything
now.
This guy said.
We didn't have NBC.
Everybody in the world, like, your right as an American is to have NBC, ABC, CBS, and Fox.
It comes with the TV.
It comes with life. It's your birthright.
That's why the Olympics are on NBC, so that literally everyone can watch it, except for the last time when they were like, hey, check out Peacock. It's this new streaming service.
Owens added that when she first messaged him, quote, I didn't know who she was, but like the first thing I saw was that she just had a bunch of followers. So in my mind, I'm like, okay, she's got to be good.
This is good for my brand. If I hook up with this girl.
She messaged me Tuesday. We were texting back and forth, and then we hung out Friday. We couldn't do much because COVID happened and everything was shut down. So she came down to Houston. She lived in the suburbs, so she had to come about 45 minutes to me. The rest is history. When asked by Ryan Clark if that meant Owens considered himself the catch in the relationship, Owens quickly and seemingly genuinely agreed that he did feel like he was the catch in the relationship.
That's good journalism by Ryan Clark. Like, okay, let me just pin you down on this.
But he takes it even further. He digs himself further into this hole on this podcast and says, quote, I always say that the men are the catch.
Oh, no.
That's a real quote.
No.
That's a real quote from this podcast. Said Owens while sitting next to his wife, the single most highly decorated gymnast in the history of the world and the recipient of a Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Oh, he was right next to her?
Yes.
Wow.
This guy's off the rocker, man. So what has happened today is the entertainment world has really not liked this, as you can imagine. And it's not, I don't think it's going very well for Jonathan.
67 tackles, 1 sack, 1 forced fumble, 1 pass defended this year.
Yeah, like, what do you think Simone Biles thought of that guy? Not famous enough for me.
3 stuffs.
How do you, by the way,
did you know stuffs was a stat?
Like run stuffs?
Stuffs. And then right next to it is stuff yards. I didn't know that.
Isn't that just making a tackle?
I don't know.
It's weird. Hey, what's the qualification to get on the celebrity dating app?
I believe you have to be recommended by someone who is on it.
Oh, you got to get a code like that Blue Sky thing?
Yeah, I think so.
Gotcha. Anyway, this has a happy ending, I guess, because they are married, and he was a gentleman and he proposed on Valentine's Day, and they had a small, nice wedding, and they're very much in love. But interesting that the truth is starting to come out in these regards. Intriguing.
I don't like this gentleman.
You and everybody else who's listening or are reading Entertainment Tonight.
Also, he was a limited participant in Wednesday's practice and is listed for questionable.
He was on the injury report
this weekend against the Panthers.
You got to get that guy off that app. This is good.
I hope he's off the app.
We got to take this. This is good. So Josh will have his poll questions in a second. I guess Sipple is just, I
was going to do a lot of those poll questions during the Sipple interview.
That's all right. You could do it now.
Yeah.
Random Mike is here for his final call of 2023. Mike, hello.
You guys have been retained?
We have been retained. We are going to run it back for 2024.
I am so happy.
That's good. Yeah, I was concerned that we were going to get fired. Actually,
Josh,
Josh, they couldn't have fired Josh. They only could have just let me go.
Yep.
Oh, really? Okay, I won't get into the details on that one. But who was the dude that called that demanded the return of Nick Baugh?
What was his name? Rick?
It was Matt Schick.
Has he called? Has he called Shin?
No, he hasn't. Interesting.
Okay, I'm glad he didn't get his way. I mean, hey, look, I am very happy for Nick's success nationally and Kugler. I mean, those guys, they're doing really well, aren't they?
Oh, yes, incredibly.
Doing okay for himself.
Yes.
Does Kugler live the life or what? I mean,
yeah, he really does. Let's do an NFL game on Sunday or drop to whatever big college basketball game of the week. Yeah, it's pretty good.
Yeah, and he does a lot of local stuff too.
He sure does.
And, if you ever listen to him, he has a way of throwing in the Omaha about 100 times during the whole world will know, hey, we're in Omaha.
You can take
he's a Nebraska supporter.
You can take the man out of Omaha, but you can't take the Omaha out of the man.
There you go. Let me ask you this. If we could draft one high school player this year, like we had the number one draft, we could pick whatever high school recruit we could get in the entire country. Don't you think it would have been Raiola?
Wow. Probably. I mean, it would have to be at quarterback, and whoever you think is the best quarterback. Yes.
So this is what I've been thinking with all the bowl games. Look, us older guys, we know when Nebraska went to bowls every year more than anybody. I mean, it's like over a 40-year period. I mean, seriously. And in most of those years, making a bowl game was a lot tougher than it is now. Correct?
Yeah, for sure.
And we were known for that. And now we're the worst at that. And trust me, all those years we went to bowl games, not once did I give a moment's thought to all the struggling teams that were losing very valuable practices because of that. I mean, how valuable are those practices for getting better as a team if you're one of those teams that needs to get better because you're not good enough to make a bowl game?
Well, especially in the early like in the early part of a coaching staff. Yeah, no doubt about it. If you have a young team like they do right now, super important.
Well, look what happens in virtually every pro league I'm aware of. The big time pro leagues. If you're a struggling team, they compensate where you get a break in the draft, right? You get to draft better players if you're a struggling team.
Right.
It's the opposite in college football, where you get less practices. If anything, you should get more practice.
You get less practices and less good players, and yeah, right, exactly.
So it's not geared for parity or helping the less fortunate or give them a chance to get. It's even one thing I was thinking was, how do we can we make up for these lost practices? Can they have informal practices of players and maybe the coaches know who the leaders are and things that they could do to lead practice to kind of make up for losing all those practices? Are there ways to do that?
Or they can work out on their own as groups. They can't have coaches present in the off season, but
couldn't the coaches encourage that and maybe with some of the leaders give them some information they want to pass on to somehow make up for all these valuable practices that you're not getting, where you do it on your own, but you do it in kind of an organized way without the coaches being there, but where you got things to go over and things you can really improve on, other ways to do that.
Yeah, I mean, they're always working out, you know. It's not like they're just sitting around for a couple weeks and whatever, but it doesn't really compare to the speed and the organization of an actual regular practice.
Yeah, I know. And but it would help a little bit. Shouldn't they just change the rules and say, look, if you don't go to a bowl game, you will still get a certain number of practices so you guys can get better. I mean, do you see what I'm saying? What would be so bad about doing that? Because that would increase parity and be good for college football.
Maybe.
It's certainly good for teams like us.
Yeah, I mean,
why don't they do that?
I don't know. Because they're still trying to keep the student part of the student athlete thing around. And if you're taking them out of class more, and if you're taking away responsibilities from that type of stuff, and a lot of this is occurring during winter break as well. So the kids are kind of at home unless you are preparing for a bowl game. So like there's a calendar and just the way it works right now.
Connor, if you were to say, hey, what would you rather have, these very valuable practices or get a Dylan Raiola?
Get a Dylan Raiola.
I would agree. It's like we got our number one draft pick. I mean, it's a gift from God. Now, why did he do it? Don't you think part of that is he wants to play next year and he's too good not to play? And if he was at Georgia, in all probability, he wouldn't play next year.
Yes, I believe that was a part of it. Yes.
And maybe how much did a Jay Foreman? I mean, you hear about some of these conversations that have been taking place between Jay Foreman and Banning and Raiola's dad and maybe Raiola himself. From what I heard, Jay Foreman said, hey, look, you can make a difference here. That this might, a lot of things have influence. The truth is, somewhere in between this. It's not just one thing, but hey, when you watch this kid play, if he stays healthy, man, it's going to be fun. I don't know any Nebraska fan that doesn't have very warm feelings for Kalen and the way he's handled this. And very possibly Kalen could be the guy in, 2 or 3 years and maybe have 2 years of being a starter. No, could have it.
Yeah, they'll probably need him at some point. That's for sure.
It's going to be fun, man. Take care.
Thanks, Mike. Happy New Year. Random Mike talking about bowl practices. Love it.
Mike on the YouTube stream.
Hi, Mike on the YouTube stream.
Let me find it here. Josh, are you going to fill one day of best ofs with just random Mike calls? I will not be doing that.
Good, though.
I could.
A good question from Trenton. Did somebody honk at Random Mike?
Honk, honk.
What is it with people on this show honking? Honk, honk. Do we have the Joel interviews on here? Because that would have all occurred during 2023.
It would have. It
right?
would have. I had not thought of that.
Honk, honk. All right, Joel, we're just gonna let you go. Bye. I have a text that I'd like to get to on the other side. And
you wild boy.
And yeah, if you had a Mohawk in 2023. And Josh's top 5 when we return on 1620 The Zone.
Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
The Season of Inspiration event is going on now at Woodhouse Mazda, and now you can save on all new 2024 Mazda CX-50s. This is a refined performance vehicle with Mazda Intelligent Drive Select. Drive away to 2024 Mazda CX-50 and get 1.9% for 60 months or 2.9% for 72 months, plus no payments for 90 days. With approved credit, tax, title, and license extra when financed through Mazda Financial Services, $299 doc fee due at signing offer expires 1/2/24. See dealer for details. Woodhouse Mazda, a drive worth experiencing.
42 Degrees wants to say Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays to our loyal customers. You made 2023 our best year ever. So to say thank you, now through December 31st, everything at every store marked as buy one, get one half off. Check out the selection of great products at 42degrees.com. Then head to the source with the friendliest, most knowledgeable, and professional staff. It's buy one, get one at 50% off. Buy your mom's house.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, did you know there's a generic form of Viagra that works just the same, but is 95% cheaper? And you can get it online? Just go to hims.com/radio. Through Hims, you'll get a free medical consultation, discreet shipping if prescribed, a 100% online process, and trusted generic alternatives to the name brands at up to 95% off. That's right. Get generic for Viagra, the same active ingredient as brand name Viagra, but for 95% less. It's the same medication, still prescribed by a licensed medical provider, but with zero copay, no expensive appointments, and no awkward face-to-face conversations. To start your free online visit, you need to go to this exclusive address, hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit. HIMS.com/RADIO.
Here's a little Christmas tip. Never ask Santa for adult beverages. Seriously, can you imagine the legal implications of carrying quality, locally brewed Nebraska beer or cider while flying a sleigh? So if you want your family and friends to gift you some Nebraska brewed awesomeness, ask and ye shall receive. Your local Nebraska Brewers Guild wants you to know that local brewers are currently working on special seasonal brews to make your holiday get-togethers merry and bright. Merry Christmas and Happy New Year from the Nebraska Craft Brewers Guild.
Email us on the Equitable Bank inbox with whatever is on your mind. Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. You can get me, Gary, at 1620thezone.com. We want to hear from you on the Equitable Bank Zone Inbox.
Looking for a unique gift for your friends and family? Any size gift card will fit every homeowner or gardener on your list. We're your one-stop shop and homegrown headquarters. Rooted in quality, unmatched value. Lanaha Nurseries, 192nd and Center.
With NFL Network now on the Westwood One Radio Network. The NFL playoffs are rounding into focus as Week 16 kicked off with the 7th seed Rams hosting the In the Hunt Saints. The Rams held off a fourth quarter comeback to win 30-22. Matthew Stafford threw for 328 yards and 2 touchdowns, while Kyron Williams led their rushing attack with 104 yards and a touchdown. The Saints fall to 7-8, while the Rams at 8-7 move into the 6th seed in the NFC entering the weekend. Next on the schedule is a Saturday matchup between the Steelers and the Bengals. Quarterback Kenny Pickett has been ruled out with an ankle injury, so Pittsburgh will start Mason Rudolph in his place, and Cincinnati's leading receiver Jamar Chase will be sidelined with a shoulder injury. Also, don't miss a holiday classic on NFL Network. The Patriots and Broncos light up the night on Christmas Eve. That's live at 8 p.m. Eastern on NFL Network and streaming on NFL Plus. This has been NFL Network Now on the Westwood One Radio Network.
Retired or retiring soon? How much money do you need to live comfortably? Retirement Planners of America is here for you. Would you like to have financial peace of mind? Here's how. Step 1. Find out the amount of money you'll need to retire. Step 2. Have a plan to get there. Step 3. Make sure that plan can take advantage of market gains but protect you from market losses. Discover how to do all 3 with a free consultation at 800-508-6108. That's 800-508-6108.
All investments involve risk, including losses. Past performance does not guarantee future results.
On the battlefield, there's a saying America's military men and women live by. Never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Off the battlefield, Wounded Warrior Project operates with the same goal. Wounded Warrior Project was created to help our men and women returning home with the scars of war, whether those scars are physical or mental. Wounded Warrior Project. We never leave a fallen warrior behind, ever. Learn more about what we do at woundedwarriorproject.org.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620, The Zone.
All right, we're going to file this one into you guys get a lot of crap. Because I don't know what this is.
Okay.
This one comes from The Squirrel on the text line.
Okay, bad start.
And I have spent the better part of the last 10 minutes trying to figure out why this text might have been sent. So here it is. Done listening to 1620 The Zone for good, and I know many others feel the same. This is a sports radio station and not Connor's Political View Hour. No one gives a rat's you-know-what your political views are. Host a show on CNN, Fox, MSNBC, or whatever floats your boat. You're not intelligent enough to be broadcasting your political views. We don't care. People tune in to listen to sports radio, not your delusional ramblings. Don't care if you read this because I won't be listening anyway. I can tell you from others that have said the same to me, they don't listen to your show anymore because you think you're some sort of political guru. You're not nearly as funny as you think you are. Not even close. What's he talking about?
I am going to guess that based on today's show and today's show alone, he is referencing when you said the worst day of the year is January 6th.
Yikes.
Imagine caping up for January 6th.
Yikes. Also, I actively know nothing about politics and have never ever pretended to know anything about politics and don't have any takes on any of it except for the clips that I see that are funny sometimes with some of our politicians. That's literally it.
That's my guess.
But maybe I should do a show on one of those other networks. I have no this is more just confusion for me, honestly. I genuinely don't know why that would have come up, but I don't think that I sit all around here and give my political takes too much. In fact, we got that a little bit today. Somebody was like, oh, well, how about you guys talk about sports for once? We talk about sports all the time. We love talking about sports. It's pretty much all we talk about. Sometimes I feel like we're talking about too much sports, so we have to talk about some other stuff that's going on. So, all right, maybe let's move back into the sports category. Mike on the YouTube, Connor Happer's biggest flex is not knowing anything about politics. It's really true. I genuinely have no idea what's going on.
That's wild. That's wild. Just the whole thing.
The text? Okay.
Yeah.
That I have no idea what's going on. Also, probably. I should be more informed for sure.
Alec, there's an election coming up. Alex on the YouTube chat says, need more Royals talk, TBH.
Agreed, but I know I get yelled at by everybody. Nobody cares about the Royals. What
They're
do
the
people
Dodgers
care?
of the American League.
The Dodgers of the American League. All right, back to sports with Tony on the 42 Degrees of Source hotline. Hello, Tony.
Hey, I think this could rival the conspiracy theory that the guy called in the morning show with last week, but at least this is sports related. I think in that FSU case today, there was something discovered that says ESPN actually doesn't have the ACC rights till 2037 unless they do a kicker in 2025. And I think they purposely left FSU out to light that fuse. And now it's going to blow up the ACC. I think the Big Ten will get either Notre Dame, North Carolina, or Virginia, two of those three. The SEC will pick up four more, probably Florida State, Miami, Clemson, and whoever the Big Ten doesn't get. And the only reason the Big Ten can't get FSU is ESPN's only going to do this if they know they can get Florida State into the SEC. And the SEC will take on more teams because if ESPN's not paying the ACC contract, they can give all that money to the SEC and keep everybody whole. And we'll have 2 20-team power conferences, and then you'll have the Big 12 and everybody else.
Tony, thank you for the call. I appreciate it. I love a good conspiracy theory, although I don't think I followed any of it. Do you know what Tony was talking about?
Well, there's a...
I apologize. I know what Tony
okay.
I know what Tony was talking about.
Very convincing actor, Connor Happer.
Admittedly, I do not... I'm not as well versed probably on the details of this as Tony is, because they had the hearing this morning, and I wasn't really following along with it, and we weren't really planning on talking about it today. But I know that there does seem to be some movement in that category. They took the first concrete step in the action to potentially leave the conference because they voted to sue the ACC over the grant of rights that everybody assumes they're locked into until 2036 or whatever. So it's a horrible deal.
And then I was just...
It's a very bad deal.
I was just following
Very bad deal.
Whoa, politics, man. Just scrolling through everybody's Twitter feed, and I kept seeing the quotes of people in the FSU athletic department can't get a copy of this rights deal. And then like people like Nicole Auerbach and Pete Thamel were like, yeah, here's the rights deal. It's right here. Like, okay, how come they can get it, but you, a person who should have several copies of it, does not have one?
Right. I mean, I guess basically the bullet points are Florida State has been screaming to high heavens about, to nobody about this for the last few years. And now we're getting close to their anger boiling so much over as a result of them missing the college football playoff to actually try and test the waters and take some action here. I don't know what the timeline looks like for any of this stuff, but it does seem like there will be some sort of action in that regards in the next couple weeks. But I love a good conspiracy theory.
Absolutely.
I do think we're, to Tony's point, we're closer than we've ever been to mega conferences. That's for sure.
Seems inevitable.
All right, Josh, let's do a little top 5 here.
Top 5 action.
What do we got?
Top 5 Husker-related poll questions from the year 2023.
Husker-related.
Yeah.
You have been reading me off some non-Husker-related poll questions that I have enjoyed during the breaks.
I have. Are you always unhappily married to Helen?
It's a good one.
God, come on. Take forever.
Number 5.
Oh, we go all the way back to March the 9th. Connor, where were you on March 9th? I'll tell you. You were sitting right here with me. It was a Thursday.
Let's look back at my calendar.
Oh, yeah.
It looked like I was supposed to do a Creighton baseball game against BYU that night, but I think that series got rained out.
I think it did. Okay, so a rainy Thursday in March, we asked the question, do you remember Delano Banton? 80% of the audience said yes.
Yeah, I remember Delano Banton. It's funny though to think about it because I don't actively think about him very much. Sometimes I see him pop up in the NBA and I'm like, oh yeah, he played in Nebraska for that year. Are those 2 years? Yeah.
Should probably talk about him more.
That was fun.
It was.
Number 4.
Okay, we go to January 9th. For question number 4. It was the most voted on question of the day.
That was a Monday.
Do you often think of what life would have been like with Tristan Gebbia?
I believe I proffered that idea.
Okay.
I wouldn't say often, but I have thought about it. Yeah.
Well, 85% of the audience said no. They do not often think of what life would have been like with Tristan Gebbia.
Yeah, you guys don't want to know where my brain has gone sometimes on like Nebraska football related items. Just that I think about that don't make it to the show. I have a relatively low filter on what makes it to the show from my brain because I like bringing ideas to the table, and I totally don't mind being called an idiot. But that one didn't make it, that one really hasn't made it to the show. So that shows you kind of what's going on there. By the way, January 9th, just a few days after Neil's retirement party.
Oh, I thought you were going to say it's just a couple days after January 6th.
No. Well, that was January 5th, coincidentally, Neil's retirement party.
Needed to be free on January 6th, did Neil.
I don't want to hear it, Josh.
Okay.
I want to hear your politics takes. Go to MSNBC, for God's sakes.
They let Charles Barkley host a show on CNN.
3. Combination of 3 and 5.
Number 3.
Number 3, February 27th. We talked about this one on the crossover, but it is important. It is our most voted on poll question of 2023. Would the University of Nebraska change to Coke products if Dylan Raiola requested it? 81% of the audience said yes.
Yeah.
Of course. They would get out of any contract they needed to.
And they did. I mean, like that theory honestly has been proven true, not necessarily with the Coke, but like they kind of were going to take Kyle McCord, and then Dylon was like, hey, what's up? And then they didn't take Kyle McCord. They were going to have to be okay if Daniel Kalin went to a different school at the end. All of this in sacrifice of Dylan Raiola.
So you're saying Kyle McCord is Pepsi?
I'm saying Dylon gets what Dylon wants.
Okay.
Because it's Dylon time.
Poll question. Sorry. Poll question up at Happer Show. Is Kyle McCord Pepsi?
There you go. Possibly our last poll question of 2023.
Interested to see how that comes up. Top 5 poll questions involving Husker. Let's be honest, Husker football for the most part.
Here comes 2.
Number 2.
Again, we go back to January. We're doing bangers in January for Husker football questions. Something to look forward to when we return. Has Donovan Raiola ever thought of cryptocurrency?
I had no idea what you were going to say just then, but I liked it. What day of January was this?
16th.
16th. Also a Monday. That was Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, look at us.
We work on Martin Luther King Day?
Look at us. Yeah, we do. We get a comp day.
Good job by us.
2/3 of the audience said no.
Yeah, yeah, that's right.
Donnie has never thought of crypto.
Donnie. That was around the time where everybody was talking about Donnie.
Mm-hmm.
Because he was the only person who was retained on the staff.
Yeah.
People couldn't believe it. Look at how this year has been to Donnie. Donnie has had the greatest glow up of the last year for sure. Give him an award.
He does deserve it. I mean, I guess he did get a raise.
Yeah, pretty substantial one.
Yeah.
And he gets the love of his family.
Family.
My family.
Number one poll question about Husker sports in 2023.
Make it so, number one.
Number one.
April 21st.
April 21st.
Uh-huh. You will hear many best of segments about this. I have positioned them back to back.
Okay. I have no idea what this is. This is exciting.
It's on Thursday. I'm pretty sure it's on Thursday. It was the most voted on poll question of the day. Which decision is the more controversial for Trev Alberts? Eliminating football and wrestling at UNO or dipping his hot dog in barbecue sauce?
I forgot about that completely.
57, nearly 58% of the audience said the more controversial decision is dipping his hot dog in barbecue sauce.
I think that was one of the poll questions where you looked at it and you were like, oh, these guys are funny. And then they looked at it again and you thought, oh, wow, that's actually a serious question. Which one is more controversial, given the scales that each of the schools reside on?
And I listened back to a lot of this segment last night in the wee hours of the morning. I was here alone. Where were all of you? And our take was that the dipping was the more problematic thing than the barbecue sauce. It's the act of dipping.
Trev's got some quirks, man.
Yeah.
He's got some quirks. He's got some weird things that he's up to.
People don't give him enough credit for how weird he is.
That's true. I still trust the guy. Love the guy. He's got some weird deals.
If he's listening, thank you, Trev.
Thank you, Trev. We know Trev's listening, of course, as he always is. Josh, thank you.
Thank you, Connor.
Great list. Just another one. Your final top 5 of 2023. We will come back. A couple things left to cover. We will also pick the college football playoff semifinal games. Why not? Just for the love of the game, too. Picks are over.
Wow.
It doesn't mean anything, much like any afternoon crossover we've done in the last month because Nick won't put them in the best ofs.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll just do it for the love of the game. Still plenty to come on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley.
What in the hell is the smell outside?
Yes.
Yes. So if you are just going outside
It's money.
this morning.
You know what that is? It's money.
No.
That's manure.
Hey,
you know.
You're in a gots-to-go situation, manure, because it's awful outside.
It is bad.
Mornings with Sharp and Handley. Weekdays 6 to 10 on 1620 The Zone. Your Omaha area forecast from the Godfather's Pizza Weather Center and KETV News Watch 7 on 1620 The Zone.
Areas of dense fog possible Friday morning. Otherwise, expect cloudy and warm conditions. Temperatures starting the day in the 40s. Clouds will continue to stick around into the afternoon. Then some late day clearing with highs around 50. I'm meteorologist Sean Everson from KETV News Watch 7.
More with Connor and Josh after this.
We're going to have an extensive professional relationship, my man.
On 1620 The Zone.
Visit Sid Dillon Chevrolet, Nebraska's #1 volume Chevy dealer, to find the perfect vehicle for wherever your plans take you. Shop SidDillonChevy.com. Chevy, find new roads.
You are what drives us, Sid Dillon.
The Zone Hotline is powered by 42 Degrees, The Source, by your mom's house.
Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill is your home for the big game. Whether it's the NFL or a rivalry on the hardwood, you will find all the action on Oscar's top-of-the-line audio-video system. With 40 TVs and massive dual projectors, the game has never looked better. Pair that with their award-winning char-buffed wings and $7.99 Monday through Friday lunch specials, Oscar's Pizza and Sports Grill has everything you need. 173rd and West Center Road, and for takeout at 162nd and Maple.
That to-do list you have needs one more thing. Chill. It's an easy thing to do. Just crack open an ice-cold Coors Light and chill. Take the afternoon off and binge watch anything. Go to happy hour and stay for a couple hours. Who's counting anyways? Or hang out with just your dog because you've had enough human interaction this week. Whatever you do, do it with a Coors Light. Mountain cold refreshment made to chill. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. Celebrate responsibly.
As we end 2023 and look forward to 2024, locally owned John Higgins Weather Guard would like to thank our friends for your continued support and patronage for 35 plus years. We wish you the happiest of holidays and a prosperous new year. And if you're even thinking about replacing your roof, we invite you to make the right call to John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferees.
John Higgins Weather Guard, the home of the rooferees. Make the right call.
Suicide can be prevented by knowing the warning signs. And most importantly, knowing what to do if you recognize those signs in yourself, a loved one, or even a stranger. There are simple ways you can be there for someone, so they can be here for more tomorrows. Visit moretomorrowsne.org to learn the signs, how to approach the conversation, and where to get help. Or call 988 for help now. That's moretomorrowsne.org.
All right, welcome back. More of the Connor Happer Show. You're on 1620 The Zone and on 1620thezone.com. Stay tuned to the afternoon crossover today as we bring it home in 2023 by eating Bronco burgers and onion rings.
It's happening.
It is happening.
Taste Test Wednesday.
And John bought it all with the $18 worth of quarters that was placed in the jar for the year. I don't know how we got to be beneficiaries of this feast, but I'm happy that we are.
I don't ask stupid questions.
No, that's fine. Yeah, exactly. It's fine with me. All right, back to the topics on Twitter. Tom Izzo's Truther wanted to talk about Creighton's waning NCAA tournament chances. Are Creighton's NCAA tournament chances waning?
No, but here's what's going to happen.
I mean, now keep in mind, like, generically, yes, like every time they lose, their tournament resume gets worse. That's true, but I mean, they're going to make the tournament. I believe they're going to make the tournament.
The conference schedule for Creighton is front loaded and back loaded, so they're going to maybe lose to Marquette, and it will get louder, and then they'll go to Georgetown. And then Providence, kind of a toss-up game. It's in Omaha, but
guys, I mean,
they're going to make the tournament, but those dissenting voices will get louder.
So listen, I mean,
over break.
I understand that we have concerns about where things are at right now, but keep in mind the realm of expectations that we're talking about. I mentioned this briefly the other day. So this is Creighton's 11th season in the Big East. They've made the NCAA tournament 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of the 10 previous times. Right? And they have, I believe, I think they still have, even over Villanova, even though Villanova beat Creighton the other night, over the 11 years in the Big East, have the best overall Big East record during that, since the Big East became what it is right now in the last 11 years. I believe that it's still true. They hold the slight edge over Villanova. Basically, what I'm saying is over a decade-long stretch, Creighton has been the best team in a power conference. in a high major conference.
Interesting.
So, yeah, I know. It's kind of crazy to think about, right? Last year, they won 14 conference games. The year before, they won 12. The year before, they won 14. The year before that, they won 13. They went 9-9, 10-8, 10-8, 9-9. 1 year of 4-14. And then, of course, the first year with Doug, they went 14-4. Only 1 year have they gone sub 500, and that was the remnants of the Doug team. And then all of a sudden, the very next year, they were winning 20 games again. I get it. The expectations are high, really high. And once you get to that point, it's hard to back off of it. It's hard to come down off of the expectations. They went to the Elite Eight last year, and I don't want to set boundaries or limits on where they can go and what they could do as a program, but maybe that you're not able to do that every year, right? That was a team that was deserving of the Elite Eight and maybe even deserving of the Final Four. And if things broke the right way, maybe even deserving of a chance to win a national championship. They were one of the best handful of teams in the country last year.
Oh, Creighton, UConn, Hell in a Cell.
Hell in a Cell, it happened. They beat the national champions once last year.
Man.
Obviously, it was at home. Like, they were one of the best, I shouldn't say handful, like dozen teams in the country last year. Maybe they aren't one of the best dozen teams in the country this year, but maybe they're one of the best 24 teams in the country. So maybe they're just a smidge down from where they were a year ago.
Does 24 get you in the tournament?
Yes.
Interesting.
It sure does. In fact, there's 68 of them, Josh.
Oh.
Now there's probably in the neighborhood of about 40 to 50, at large / power conference champion teams that get in to the NCAA tournament. But yes, I mean, this getting to the NCAA tournament, and when you get there, hopefully get out of the first weekend. That's the expectation. And this team is well on track to do that until further notice. Like, if it slips all the way, they lose 6 in a row like they did last year, and everybody's going to be convinced that they missed the NCAA tournament, then we'll have that conversation. We have that conversation. I don't think they're in for that. I think they'll get it. I think they'll get it right. And when you break it really down into a more granular level, they not only are one of the top, one of the best 24 teams in the country, I think, but they also have 2 of the best 24 players probably in the country on one team, right?
No,
or most, I mean, in Kalkbrenner's case, impactful. I like to always talk about him with the word impactful. He's one of the more impactful players in the country. And Trey Alexander obviously has shown flashes of being one of the best.
Now I'm looking at the standings here, Connor.
You go right ahead, Josh. Look at those standings. What does it say?
It says that DePaul is ahead of UConn, Creighton, and Marquette.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what's going to hold, and that'll be the case the rest of the year for sure.
And Rick Pitino is tied for the Big East lead. He's really turned them around by getting them out of Carnesecca Hall.
Yeah, opening night completely flipped the conference on its head, and Creighton looked bad the other night.
Sure.
No way around.
And they look bad in their other losses.
They look bad against UNLV, and they look bad against Colorado State. And I do think, I mentioned this yesterday to Padilla, like, I do think there is kind of an adjustment period, right? Creighton's had a really nice lead up to where they've gotten. Obviously, you can lose that Colorado State, it's like Colorado State game, and you're like, okay, it's not the worst thing in the world. That's a top 30 KenPom team. That's a good basketball team. They'll be in the NCAA tournament as an at-large team if they don't win their conference. Like, you can get away with that one. Road wins at Oklahoma State, Nebraska, and then you beat Alabama on your home floor. Obviously, a weird stinker to UNLV in a midweek road game against an athletic team. And so you have this kind of ramp up to get to conference play, and the first thing you're hit with is Villanova. And of course it's Villanova. And not that Villanova is going to beat everybody that they play, but you know exactly what they are. They're tough and they're physical and they're going to get up in you and they're going to shot fake. And they got Eric Dixon, who goes off for 30 every time he plays Ryan Kalkbrenner. It's a bad matchup for Ryan Kalkbrenner. He stretches him out. And for some reason, Ryan Kalkbrenner can get a hand in his face every time, and Eric Dixon's still going to make the shot. That's what happened on the corner three late in the game in overtime on Wednesday night. So I think there's probably an adjustment period that they have to go through. They're not like, in my opinion, they're not as good as they were last year. They lack some things that I like to see Big East teams have, but they're good. They're good. And they're going to make the NCAA tournament.
Best basketball team in the state.
I feel good about that, Josh. It's a good team. It's a team that's going to make the tournament. There'll be lumps. And they're certainly more capable of losing to teams who aren't in that top echelon of the conference than they were a year ago. Their margin for error is just a little bit smaller. Mm-hmm. But they also have this capability. We compare them to the 13-14 Doug team a lot. They also do possess this capability to completely wreck whoever they play, because if they get hot, they're unstoppable.
Yeah.
Right. So, yeah, I wouldn't be too overly concerned about that one quite yet. All right, a couple more things to get to as we draw toward burger time here on the Connor Happer Show on 1620 The Zone.
For the Jays, the Huskers, and even you Jayskers, we are 1620 The Zone.
The venue's set. Families coming in from all over. It's our quinceañera. With all the excitement, it may be easy to overlook COVID-19. It's still a risk, and that's why it's muy importante to get this season's COVID-19 shot ahead of time. It helps protect against COVID-19, which can cause severe illness and hospitalization. So let's set the date, vaccinate, and celebrate. Learn about a vaccine option and book this season's updated COVID-19 shot today at schedulecovidvax.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. 120,000 miles of night drives, daily commutes, and who knows how many.
Are we there yet?
Through countless fixes, elbow grease, and a new radiator, you kept your ride alive. With eBay Motors, you have over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
It may not be chestnuts, but Host Coffee is always roasting something good for you. Thank you to everyone who chose to make Host Coffee and the services we provide part of your business in 2023. Happy holidays from Host Coffee, Omaha's best coffee since 1972.
Since 1935, businesses all around Omaha have trusted one sign company with their visual branding, SignWorks. We design, manufacture, and install signs of all kinds, including high-tech message centers like the new installation at Steelhouse Omaha. We can make your sign too. SignWorksOmaha.com.
Individuals and businesses with tax problems, listen carefully. If you owe over $10,000 in back taxes or have unfiled tax returns, U.S. Tax Shield can help you take back control. The IRS can seize your bank accounts, garnish your paycheck, close your business, and file criminal charges. Our team of tax attorneys can stop collections and get you protected. U.S. Tax Shield offers a price protection guaranteed quote to get you protected today. U.S. Tax Shield is A+ rated with the BBB, so call 800-466-9625. U.S. Tax Shield, 800-466-9625.
Peerless Energy Systems is Nebraska and Iowa's locally owned and operated authorized solar air compressor distributor. Peerless Energy Systems provides products and solutions for compressed air systems, helping companies in manufacturing, food processing, transportation, auto body repair, car dealers, and more. Driving industry efficiency through service, support, and relationships, let Peerless Energy Systems help you increase efficiency with your compressed air systems today. PeerlessEnergy.com.
Happy holidays from your friends at DJ's Dugout. Nick Handley here. DJ's is truly an Omaha tradition to gather with family and friends during the holidays to watch sports, enjoy delicious food, and have a great time. And a DJ's gift card is a great holiday gift idea, too. Thank you for voting DJ's your #1 sports bar again this year in the Best of Omaha Awards. DJ's Dugout is locally and Vietnam veteran-owned. Dig in at the Dugout.
Ramona's Mexican Restaurant, previously located at 30th and Reddick and now located at 30th and Willett in historic Florence, is still the way you remember. Nachos, deep fried burrito, that beast of a cheeseburger, and those amazing cinnamon chips. Have a margarita or a cocktail. Open until 2 a.m. on Friday and Saturdays, too. You can even host your private party. Ramona's Mexican Restaurant. Stop in today and follow them on Facebook for specials and news about their monthly musical bingo.
Let's get back to the Connor Happer Show. on 1620 The Zone.
Hey, Josh, is this the last segment?
Last segment of the year right here. It's kind of a long one, too.
What happened? What did we do?
We
felt
didn't
like
talk to Sipple. Our crossover didn't go 45 minutes.
I felt like we had another one. Maybe I just counted wrong. Okay, anyway. All right. Well, we're here with you for the next 15, 20 minutes here. A couple things. First of all, the Dodgers, some are calling the National League Royals, because they're only paying Shohei Ohtani $2 million a year, and because they have Shohei Ohtani, they become attractive landing destination for Yoshinobu Yamamoto.
Nice job.
Who is Yoshinobu Yamamoto? He is a 5'10", 175-pound flame-throwing right-hander from Japan, 25 years old, known as possibly the greatest pitcher ever in the Japanese league. He's 25 years old, 12 years, $325 million.
He's the highest paid pitcher in the sport.
For total contract, yeah.
Yeah.
It's like yearly, you still have like the Garrett Cole, Max Scherzer. Isn't Max Scherzer making $40 million a year?
Yes.
To be old and not pitch?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So this is kind of embarrassing.
The Dodgers spent $1 billion on two players.
$1 billion. One of which
more than $1 billion.
Yeah. One of which who's nobody's ever seen play. Well, I mean, not nobody, but
he was on ACC Network, Connor.
I guess he has. No, he wasn't. He's never played in the United States with the exception of the World Baseball Classic.
Mm-hmm.
And
they didn't let him close the game.
Well,
did he start that game?
I don't know if he started that game. That's a good question, actually. The game that ended in the Mike Trout strikeout.
That was a great game.
But we know who ended that game, and that was the guy who's worth $700 million of the $1 billion.
$2 million. He's worth $2 million.
But $2 million this year, and then lots of million after 2034, whenever the contract is up for Shohei Ohtani. Yeah, it's pretty disgusting. I don't like it. I don't think you should be able to just give that much money to somebody. It's not for the fact that they're not making money. It's just they're going to be so good. But
yeah, I mean, they've said, look, this is a 5-year window. It's maybe a 6-year window with Yamamoto, Ohtani, Freeman, Betts. We're going to win 2, 3, or more World Series. It's just going to happen.
Yeah,
deal with it.
And I shouldn't say it's bad for the sport. It's not bad for the sport. Like, I love that they're spending the money. I think it's a good thing that they have the money and that they are spending the money. The real problem with baseball is the people who aren't spending the money, to be completely fair. So it's not the Dodgers that I'm mad at, but they're, they obviously have an embarrassment of riches at this point. But I saw this sort of going around today. I can't wait till remember the debate that we were having in the playoffs this year in baseball, where no good teams were in the championship series.
Mm-hmm.
The first time that happens to the Dodgers, it's going to cause some strife. Oh, look, the Dodgers won 140 games, but they couldn't make it out of the wild card series.
The Marlins beat them in a 5-game series.
Turns out the 78 and 84 Rockies made the playoffs, and they took them down.
Yamamoto didn't even play in the final of the World Baseball Classic.
Jeez. What was he doing? What was he up to?
I don't know.
He probably pitched in a different game.
Yeah, I'm betting he pitched the game before.
College football playoff, Josh.
Oh.
Before we come back, there will be a national championship game that is set.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Let's do this for the love of the game. Let's do this for the fun of it.
Oh.
All right. Number 4, Alabama against number 1, Michigan, who's a 2-point favorite. This is 4:00 as the sun sets behind the San Gabriels, January 1st of 2024. Next year at the Rose Bowl on ESPN. Narratives abound? You know one thing I was going to ask Sipple today, because he touched on it in his in his little column today, in his tunnel talk.
His little column.
You got your little column over there. Get your little words.
It's good for you.
But he was sort of hinting at the idea that this could be it for Nick Saban.
I have seen this. I have heard this.
Okay.
From other places than Sipple.
We already have the Jim Harbaugh scuttlebutt. Will either of those coaches be back, and what will become of them next year? Josh, since you won picks this year, you get to go first. Who would you like to select? Alabama or Michigan as a 2-point favorite?
This shocks me that I'm about to say this as a team that watched Alabama struggle to just move the ball against USF. Alabama is going to make the national championship game.
I kind of feel that way too.
I just don't think Michigan has the horses or has been tested. If they get down multiple scores in a game, I don't know how the team will respond.
I don't think I trust Michigan. Just if we're talking about intangible versus intangible, Alabama seems like the team. I mean, obviously we saw it in the SEC title game, who can really rise to the occasion if they need to. They're still really talented. They're not as talented as they have been in the past. They're not as good as they have been in the past. But I just sort of trust them intangibly. And with a month to prepare,
they got the medal, right?
Yeah, I like that piece of it. I think it's a good game. Hopefully it ends up being our best semifinal game. I guess going back to that Georgia Alabama Rose Bowl or that Georgia.
Last year's semifinal games were great.
I say Rose Bowl.
Remember when the clock struck midnight and Ohio State lost?
Yeah. I mean, Ohio State's been in some good ones. So we've had good semifinal games. This is maybe one of the more interesting ones. Michigan is, I don't know, probably, even though they've been the most dominant team in college football this year, they may be historically one of the weaker 1 seeds that we've seen, one of the weakest.
I agree.
And Alabama was, slated to not get in. So like I said, back when we go back to the Florida State not being selected for the playoff thing, like, you know why you do this? You know why you let Alabama in? Because it does make a better TV product, and that's what we're going to get.
Mm-hmm.
And I am also going to take Alabama plus the 2 points.
Nick Saban and time.
Yeah.
I like that combo.
Who might the Tide be playing in the national championship game? Number 3 Texas is a 4.5-point favorite against number 2 seed Washington. That is just right after that game, 7:45 on January 1st at the Sugar Bowl, America's greatest sporting spectacle on ESPN.
The Sugar Bowl?
Yes.
Is America's greatest sporting spectacle?
Ask John Bishop.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So think intangibles again, right?
Mm-hmm.
And think coaches. Washington.
Yep.
Washington.
That line is a crime.
That line is a crock. You are right. That line is a crock.
Washington has twice beat Oregon, a team that I still think might be better than Washington. Washington's beat them twice.
Yeah, I do not get the disrespect at this point
because it's kind of close to the state of Texas.
They have proven it over and over again. It is, and they'll have the home field advantage for sure.
Sure.
But like, if you're making the case that Washington can't stand up against these big, physical, talented teams, then what are we supposed to do with Oregon, who everybody thought was, one of the 2 best teams in the country? We had been calling them the team that actually could and was physically prepared enough to beat Georgia before Alabama did it in the SEC title game. Like, I wanted an Oregon-Georgia college football playoff game. Washington beat them twice this year, and the second time they beat them soundly.
Yeah.
Right? That's usually set up for the team that lost the first time to win the second time. So the disrespect for Washington is kind of wild to me. And this just feels like hey, it's us against the world. Kalen DeBoer, Michael Penix. They have talent. Like, why are we making them out to be the big underdog? They're gonna have a 1st-round pick at quarterback. They're gonna have a 1st-round pick at wide receiver. They have a great defense. Washington. Washington. That's my answer.
Yeah. I think it's like, I don't think Washington's going to rout Texas by any means, but I think it's pretty obvious that Washington is the better team. They went through the tougher conference. They went through it unscathed. You know, Texas lost to their blood rival. That's it.
Those are our selections. And we do it for the love of the game.
Love of the game.
Like we said, and coincidentally, we both, of course, picked the same picks. Classic
us.
All right, let's head to the poll questions, Josh.
Poll questions.
The final batch of poll questions for the year at Happer Show on the JTech Construction Zone Twitter feed. Bring back crank yankers.
There's no one clamoring for this.
Or no.
We did this already. We looked it up.
No. 54% says no.
That's the right answer.
Just 54, though. Oh, by the way, you know what? Let's go back to yesterday's afternoon poll questions.
Yeah, I had some in the crossover.
Do you pee in the shower?
This is not the most voted on poll of the year, but it would be in the top 5, I think.
Now, let me make my position clear on this. I don't always, but I'm not against it. I have and I will.
I have, but I don't, if that makes sense.
So your answer to this would be yes?
Yes.
Okay. I'm not against it on principle.
It is not a regular practice.
That's it.
If you told me you did, I would go, oh, that's gross. But I've done it, and I'll do it again.
75% of almost 700 voters say yes, they do. So who's the weird one now? And finally, is Nick Grimm, finally from yesterday, is Nick Grimm's shower disgusting?
He is a single man living in an apartment.
Yeah.
His shower is disgusting, even if he doesn't think it is.
Yeah, I'm sorry. 85% say yes. It's not like everybody's shower is kind of disgusting, but Nick's is definitely.
Yeah.
A few more from today. Are puppets ever cool? Yes.
Yeah, I think we listed a few. This is the most voted on poll question of the day.
53% say no. Puppets are never cool.
I'm sorry, I lied. It is not the most voted on poll question
Sad.
Today.
53% said puppets are never cool. Are the Royals the Dodgers of the American League?
Pretty much confirmed. They are a mover and shaker.
They love spending that money. 75% say no.
Just learn about baseball, people.
Are horses soft?
No.
I mean, the point was this. Every time they get hurt, what happens to them?
They die.
They kill them. Yeah. That's the only way to fix them.
There's no rehabbing a horse.
No. So, I mean, right, Josh? Like kind of soft.
New poll question. Who's softer, horses or Ryan Kalkbrenner?
Wow. Hey,
No.
Josh.
Just did it for the joke. That dude's tough.
Horses are soft. 57% say no, though.
This is the most voted on poll question of the day.
Do you think about the Woodman Tower?
Nope.
I do. I come back into our fine city and our fine state and I say, Omaha, somewhere middle America. And then I think, I love the Woodman Tower. It's the best building ever. Yes, I think about the Woodman Tower. 73% say no.
This is, again, a group of people living in the past, thinking of the Woodman Tower. It is not the tallest building in Omaha anymore. It is not iconic.
Were you trying to kill the Woodman Tower?
You don't know. I'm not trying to kill it. Want to be very clear about that. Not trying to kill a building.
That's good. Good job.
Just overrated.
I love the Woodman Tower because it's the building that matters more. Is Kyle McCord Pepsi? Yeah, I like that, Josh. 65% say yes. That's it. Give me our final results, Josh.
I don't have them.
Great. Could you math them real quick?
No, I can't, actually.
So here's what we have for today.
I will do it in my office during the crossover. We'll tweet them out.
All right. Well, we got a no, a yes, a no, a yes, a no.
Oh, wait. Hold on. Okay, I'm ready.
You ready?
Ready.
This is going back to yesterday afternoon's afternoon's crossover.
Okay.
We have a yes, a yes,
Mhm.
a no, a no, a no, a no,
negative Nancy's,
a no, and a yes. Is that tied? Does that tie us?
No. Let's see. Yes had a 4-question lead. I believe yes will win the year by 2.
Wow.
But I will confirm and tweet out the final results.
No politics takes, Josh.
None.
What are we watching for the rest of the year?
I just did the weekend because there's a lot of football this weekend. NFL has invaded your Christmas holiday. Take that, NBA. Bengals Steelers tomorrow on NBC at 3:30. The first ever NFL game exclusive to Peacock is tomorrow night, 7 o'clock start for Bills Chargers, and they have upped the ante. The fourth quarter will be commercial free.
Wow. How could they do that?
Well, it's Peacock.
They could just choose to not have commercials?
I imagine they're going to do
They're going to pop up on the side and talk about how great Peacock is.
Like, hey, 15 seconds here. Here's a message from Geico.
Okay, but if you're telling us that it's commercial free, you can't do that.
But I'm guessing that's what they're going to do.
What do they do during the media timeouts?
Take it to the booth?
Yeah. Are they going to have like some fun and cool games?
Maybe. Do the hat shuffle?
Yeah, do the hat shuffle. You have the guy putt for a Porsche or whatever it is.
Oh, yeah. Have Chris Collinsworth throw footballs into a big Dr. Pepper can.
Good idea.
Your Sunday games on CBS at noon here locally, Browns, Texans, Lions, Vikings, your big Fox game. 3 o'clock, most of the country on Sunday is getting Cowboys, Dolphins, one of 2 Super Bowl previews this weekend in the National Football League. That's a potential Super Bowl preview, whether we like it or not. Patriots Broncos is your Sunday night football game on NBC. I'd rather that be on Peacock so I could ignore it. Noon on Monday, CBS, it's Raiders Chiefs. You can hear Mitch on 1290 at 11.
Noon on Monday because Monday is Christmas.
Monday is Christmas.
It's not
People
just
forget.
Monday.
Yeah. Giants Eagles, 3 o'clock on Christmas Monday on Big Fox, and then 7 o'clock Monday night, ABC, that's Christmas night, the big one, Ravens 49ers. The disrespected Ravens are a 4.5-point underdog to the most wagonish team in the league right now. 7 bowl games on Saturday. I won't go through them all. I'll tell you 2, though. Armed Forces Bowl, James Madison against Air Force, 2:30 on ABC.
The year of James Madison.
Yeah, followed by the Las Vegas Bowl, Utah versus Northwestern. That's where Nebraska should have been.
Man.
It will be the first Power 5.
Vegas Bowl. Somewhere in Vegas.
First FBS game where there will be comms in the helmets.
Oh.
So that is expected to be the, okay, that worked. Everybody can have comms in the helmets.
That is Northwestern and Utah, yes?
Yes. NBA on Christmas. Bucks Knicks 11 o'clock on ESPN. Warriors Nuggets 1:30 on ABC. Celtics Lakers at 4 o'clock on ABC. These are all Christmas Monday. Sixers Heat 7 o'clock ESPN, and your nightcap Mavericks Suns on ESPN. College basketball, kind of an interesting one. Saturday night on Big Fox. St. John's at UConn. What are you laughing? What are you laughing about?
I've received a text from Stephen M. Sipple.
Oh.
Here's what it reads.
Okay.
Damn it.
Is that it?
That's it. So, well, no, now we have a follow-up.
Okay.
I have no idea what happened.
That's fun. Finally,
Happy New Year to everyone.
it is it's not this weekend, but I do want to highlight New Year's Day on TNT, 2 o'clock. One of the best things that the NHL does each year. The Winter Classic outdoor hockey game at a football field this year.
Yeah, where are we going?
We're in Seattle for the Crack Wagon. They will
Cool.
host the Vegas Golden Knights. This event is done right by the NHL. They do a lot of things wrong.
Agreed. Last year they were in Tahoe, right? Was that last year?
I don't know if it was last year, but they have done this event in Tahoe, and the ice was not cold enough.
That's right. That's right. No, it is cool. I agree. Yeah. Good take by you, Josh.
Thank you. Good take, Haver. My last take of the year was a good one.
Yes. Also, as we mentioned at the top of the show, thank you all. Seriously, and we're very sarcastic, almost exclusively on this show, but you are appreciated. And every time anybody reaches out with anything good or bad, it's appreciated as well. We like connecting with people, and hopefully we could do it some more. We will. We plan to.
Yeah, for 2 more years.
For two more years. But that doesn't start for
10 days.
like 10 days.
Yeah.
So we'll talk to you guys then. First, we got to eat some burgers. It's burger time. The burger crossover is next.
The Connor Happer Show. Follow us on Twitter @Happer Show for all the latest news and views. We may even say something interesting once in a while.
Unlikely.
Really, guys? Live from the Host Coffee Studio, this is 1620 The Zone.
Hey, everybody, it's Michael Severe. Happy holidays from 10 Wallies. The folks over at 10 Wallies want to wish you an extremely happy holidays. It's such a busy time all year. It's a time to settle down with your family, with your friends, and do what? Get together and gather, sure, but also have some ice cream along. Whether you have a cake or you have a pie or you just want to eat ice cream with some whipped cream, whatever you're going to do, you get it from 10 Wallies. Over 3,000 flavors. You can find every day the specials on social media. Check them out today and get some ice cream for the holiday.
The Zone Inbox is brought to you by Equitable Bank. We take banking personally. Email me, Connor Happer, with the Connor Happer Show at Connor, CONNOR, at 1620thezone.com. Send me your love, your hate, and maybe a few hot takes. The Zone Inbox, presented by Equitable Bank.
The brand new Dollar General Distribution Center in Blair is now hiring. Starting wage is up to $22 per hour with benefits including medical, dental, vision, 401k, and a $2,000 sign-on bonus. Apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Again, apply today by texting DG Warehouse to 25000 or online at dollargeneral.com/careers. Dollar General can't wait to have you become a team member at their brand new distribution center.
I'm Rick Betker from Omaha Car Care. During this holiday season, we want to thank all our friends and clients who made 2023 a great year. And we hope you can help us spread joy to others. From now through January, we're hosting a boot drive for the kids of the Q school system. At this time of year, they could really use some warm boots. So if you could bring your new or gently used boots to any of our 4 locations, we'll make sure they get to kids in need. Thanks, and happy holidays from Omaha Car Care.
Need to feed the family? Godfather's Pizza has you covered with my build-your-own feast. Choose a medium specialty pizza, a medium one-topping pizza, and a side, like my new bacon ranch cheese sticks. Order today. Godfather's Pizza. Do it.
Let it fly. Your elevated sports bar experience. KOZN Bellevue, Omaha, Council Bluffs. This is 1620 The Zone.
Crossover. Oh, killer crossover. Just crossover. You just crossed him over. Another victim to the crossovers. Cross him up and sit him down.
The crossover is powered by Everlevel Concrete Repair in Omaha at everlevelconcrete.com. John, Josh, Nick, hello.
Hey, what's up? How are you?
Hello. Now, I thought we were going to all eat burgers together for burger time.
Well, that's what I thought too.
Well,
for the record,
I didn't plan it out very well, and I didn't know how long it was going to take to get through the Broncos. So